What's up, guys? How are you today? Hey, Papa. Hey, Big Papa. I'm happy to catch stream. Very poggers. Very poggers. I'm looking. I was gonna. Holy Jesus. I was like, oh, maybe I'll watch this conversation with like Mr. Girl in it, but like it's so long. It's like it's a 6-hour long thing. I'm not gonna watch it. Like, what a hell, absolutely not, dude. That's crazy. Hey, Bob, got missed your stream yesterday, but you were spitting on the gender discussion. Thanks, brother. I appreciate that. Wow, I don't know what to do today now. Holy moly. Your Slayful era? How you doing, Papa? Props in the background. Thank you. It's such a shit show. Is it? Yeah. How is it? How would I debate Mr. Girl and Age of Consent? I don't know. Like, why? Why would I do that? I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the guy. You know, I'm not a particular fan. I don't know what. I'm not a particular fan of the guy. I don't know what else to say. Holy Jesus. Okay. What is this? This is from June. Oh, this is from the 11th. Okay.
Research.
All right. I don't know what this is. Let me change my screen. Okay. My response to SunnyV2. Wow. SunnyV2. Who's Skeppy? What is he responding to?
I made like I could do.
What is this? He's a big cringy Minecraft. When did is this Skeppy here? Oh, okay.
There were countless.
Okay. I'm definitely gonna watch this because this seems interesting. This is definitely on the list for today. Whenever I see people play Minecraft, I just know they. Oh my god, you guys are terrible. Hey, Papa just finished working. Very cool, brother. Very cool. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to watch this this Destiny thing with boring stream. Very popular.
Problem is that like yeah,
I don't want to watch Destiny. I can't watch him. I'm on Switch. But I wanted to see like the I was gonna watch this Erudite conversation, but it's so long. It's 6 hours long. I'm not sitting. I don't have the attention span. I just don't. Just so you guys know, if you have Amazon Prime, you get a free. Whoa, relax. You get a free Prime sub every month. Exclamation point on the chat allows you to let this up out. Yeah, I know it's unlisted. I was looking at it before. I was looking at it. I was looking at it through Erudite stream, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll watch this. But it's, dude, it's like the entire thing's like 5 or 6 hours. Like I'm down for like a couple hours. You know me, I'll watch a 2 or 3, even a 3-hour conversation. But 6 hours, dude. What am I doing with myself? What it's crazy. Is it true Mr. Girl said he wants a 35-year-old rating a 15-year-old body? Yeah, he said that, but I kind of doubt that, honestly. I'm just saying, I mean, I don't really want to get into it, but I don't want to get into it. Papa, would you ever talk to Mr. I mean, sure, I've talked to him. I'm just not a particular fan of the guy. Oh, wait, I never watched this video you sent me.
Who do you think has a nicer set of jugs, Elizabeth Warren or Kamala Harris?
I'll go with the white
Probably gonna Kamala Harris for sure. What does Elizabeth think got shit, bro?
shit.
Do you go with the white titties? Why is it that you take the white gazumbas over the black titties?
Her ideology is not breast-like.
I actually thought I entered a time warp and went back 100 years because I couldn't.
If you did, you would not be talking. We'd be all better for it. Got him!
Dracula just subscribed.
Hey, thank you so much for this, brother.
Not believe somebody was asking this question.
What question?
Yeah, you said who's got the nicer titties, Elizabeth Warren or Kamala Harris?
I mean, listen, is the conversation sexist? Sure, but it's like one of those things where, like, it's really not that big of a deal. Like, if some girl walked up and said, like, who has the nicer wee-wee? I don't know, Papa Gut or whatever. Like, it's funny. Like, nobody cares. Like, who cares? It's just it's a dumb bro question. It's not that big of a deal, but you know, whatever. Okay.
What did you think on the answer to that question?
I don't have an answer to that question.
You had to pick between the.
You know that the problem what I have with this woman is she's holding her phone sideways to record him. You know what I mean? Like nobody does. Who does this? Just do this. More comfortable, more secure. I'm gonna record you. I'm recording you right now. So weird.
2 sets of Kazumbas.
By the question.
Know that mental illness can come in pairs.
Pairs of
Titties or
Phenomena.
what were you saying about a pair?
Like that you guys are paired together in this absurd
I'm an anti-porn activist, as a matter of fact, but you're not going to get an interview from me about the subject because I want.
What's your favorite anti-porn? Is it people's aunts?
Your mother would be very ashamed you're doing this kind of work.
Who do you think has a nice?
I don't know, man. My mom would think it's funny, but she'd be like, "You're so ridiculous." That was what she would say. Who has a better aunt? That's not bad though. Some people are into that, bro. But they call it a step aunt because I think it's illegal.
I see problems with relative.
This is what Gen Z reform activist X Gonzalez has to say about Congress. Wasn't this person involved in a shooting? Like a while ago? Parkland, yeah, I think so. Yeah. Okay.
Simple solutions. I try to fix them. Again, that's just me. It's kind of embarrassing, though, to be this adamant that there is no problem and there is no reason to pass gun laws. We saw you cash those checks. We know that you know gun violence is an issue. We brought the topic to you with international attention and resources 4 years ago. We as children did the heavy lifting for you. You want to make this world a better place?
I mean, listen, I don't like necessarily disagree. It's just this video is not for me, honestly. And this is one of those things where it's like I already agree we need gun reform, but like people are gonna like do your act. Like I'm not even saying she shouldn't be an activist. Like do your thing. It's just like one of those things where the way people talk about stuff comes off differently to different people. So like for instance, Matthew McConaughey's was very identifiable, I guess, for me and probably for other people who aren't necessarily or other people who would be a little more on the fence about gun control. I'm not, but other people because it's just more palatable, I guess you'd say. She's yelling a lot. It's just something that like this is the kind of message I wouldn't. I don't think a lot of people identify with unless you already like agree with her. And you're a little bit of a lefty.
Please stop telling me I'm an incel.
Hey, why do you send me every stream? We watch this like every day. Fix the garden. Dragonfire United manager Cal the Dragon did this to a bush.
Dragonfire United manager Cal the Dragon.
Oh my god, Cal the Dragon. I know what you're talking about. He's so weird. Stop. I'm looking very breedable tonight.
Answer to this, as the manager and
Bro, stop sending me Cal the Dragon stuff. What a weird thing to send me. Maybe we'll watch that. I don't know. We'll see. If only I... The government don't want you to know that. Don't want y'all to know this. Stop. You're killing me with this. You're killing me. What is this? Okay, some girl. Why do you think there's so many SA allegations with Boy Scouts? You know, I don't know. I would imagine that. You know, it's such a hard. It's a similar conversation to why do you think that there's so many allegations within within the church, and I think that the big part of it is that predators look at an institution that gives them access to be to being close with kids, and they take advantage of it. I think that's a big part of it. You know, and I don't know though. I mean, I don't know for anything for sure, but that would be my guess. To be honest with you, that would be my guess. Oh man, this is so funny. I saw this on TikTok. Boss, landlord, like the boss tells you where to go, the landlord leads the way. I'm pretty sure it's tip your landlord, the true leader. It's very funny. I'm pretty sure it's satire, but it's very funny. All right, well, don't send it to me multiple times. Don't send it to me 3 times in a row, bro. Every time I hear a Christian comprehensive history theme. I love it. Hey. We're not going to put up with that type of slander here, okay? We're just not going to put up with it. All right, so this is sports. Sports are, I mean, listen, sports are kind of gay. Bunch of men touching each other? No, thanks. Hey, bro, let me touch your pig skin. What is this?
Riots were actually peaceful protests against racism. America deserves to be in flames. That Mount Rushmore must go. It is illegitimate, just like the nation it celebrates.
Hey, Papa God, happy to catch you on Twitch this time. I watch all your stuff on YouTube. I appreciate that. That's awesome. I really do appreciate that. I love it. I love to hear it. I would. Testing. I don't, bro. You can't send me huge mother milkers on stream like that. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna save it for later though. Stop. Why is this stream so horny? Stop. I'm sending this to me. Stop it. It's too much.
Oh, it's cold out here.
Oh, Crip Mac. I'm not going to watch this. But we're going to get into our first segment of the day.
Hey, do you guys know what Satan?
All right. This last TikTok. We're going to get back. We're going to get to the content for the day. Okay. No, all right. It's endgame. That's like DMCA stuff. All right. Listen. Here's the thing. I don't know what's happening today, but when I came on, I saw it. Somebody sent me. Did somebody send this to me? I think, yeah, somebody sent this to me. And it's called My Response to SunnyV2. This guy's name is Skeppy. I don't know any. Listen, it looks like he's a Minecraft YouTuber. Now, let me tell you, that's very suspicious. For obvious reasons, there's a lot. There's a lot of very suspicious characters inside of Minecraft. So I don't know what has happening here, but this guy responded to SunnyV2, and SunnyV2 made a video about him about maybe roughly 3 weeks ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago, I think. So this is Skeppy. Let's see what SunnyV2 has to say, and then we'll see what Skeppy's response is.
There are countless different reasons as to why Skeppy's viewership has fallen from over 100 million views per month in mid-2020 to sometimes less than 10 million per month.
Oh no. Bro, listen, I wish. Oh my god, you've fallen. You get less than only 8 million views a month? Like listen, like between my 2 channels, I'm hitting like maybe 1.2 million views a month. I'll take 8 million. Could you imagine if I made 8 times the amount of money I made? Jesus. Oh my lord, it would be incredible. But okay. I mean, listen, I don't know. Just on service value, people get older. They gravitate away from certain content. There's also a flood of a ton of different Minecraft YouTubers, so there's more people to compete with, and like it is what it is. But like, listen, dude, people like I hate the concept of falling off because it's like, oh, you're gonna, dude. Everybody, I feel like anybody's gonna have like a huge like I did so well, and you peak, and sometimes you just can't get it back because a lot of times people peak due to like 18 different circumstances. That's just life, bro. But this guy seems to be doing fine. And yeah, and Minecraft seems to be falling off too. That's a good point. Oh, and this is in mid-2020. COVID is over, bro. I blew up during COVID. A lot of people did because what's happening? People are sitting at home. They have nothing to do, and they're just like angry. They're bored. They're on TikTok and they're on like all these platforms. Everybody was getting good views then on everything, and then that's over, and there's less viewability. So you're less pushed into the algorithm. The reason I'm saying it like this is because like you really can't. You just can't get stressed. If you're a content creator and you're doing a little work, it's okay. That's life, brother. You got to just kind of roll with the punches, bro. It is what it is. I'm always ready to go back to a real job. I was thinking today, I'm doing fine. Like, I'm doing well. But if I started doing worse, I was like, you know what? I'll get a real job, and then I'll just stream either a shorter amount of time or just like 3 times a week, and I'll work a real job, and I'd still do well. Like, you know what I mean? Like, who cares? But anyway.
Recently. Sure, we can make it simple by stating the obvious. Skeppy's reputation has taken a bit of a hit over the last couple of months.
Oh, is there a situation? Oh, Jaden was featured. Holy moly.
However, more specifically, we'll be looking at the accusations and evidence for a bunch of his videos being fake, the bizarre scams he's been involved in on Fiverr, his failure to pay...
His videos are fake? What does that mean? Like, he's not really playing Minecraft?
Both his artists and the winners of his competitions, while at the same time examining the decreased quality and changing video style within the content itself. The most interesting part is that the reason behind why his reputation began to decline in the first place is actually
because he's kind of weird. Just looking at that,
completely unrelated to any of these previously mentioned points, and was rather derived from somewhat of a strange place: his friendship with another Minecraft YouTuber by the name of A6D. Skeppy and A6D's friendship began back in late 2017.
Oh, I guess he's gay, came out of the closet. So now I see everybody's homophobic and they just don't like watching somebody who is gay. I figured it out.
When Skeppy's channel sat at around 200,000 subscribers. At the time, A6D had simply been a fan of Skeppy and would therefore regularly donate to his streams, claiming that he was Skeppy's #1 fan. However, A6D wasn't really happy with simply being a fan, so he began to invite Skeppy to his server, which Skeppy would join for a video with the goal of seeing how his #1 fan would react.
I've been getting a ton of emails to go on this guy's server because apparently his friend is my quote-unquote biggest fan.
After joining, Skeppy would find out that A6D was actually French.
I think this is the guy, my biggest fan. That's what I was told, and he's talking in, that's French, right?
There's like a lot of different music sounds going at the same time, and I am just fucking... I don't think I can. I'm having an aneurysm.
Creating a language barrier, which resulted in a hilarious video with comments such as "This guy is hilarious. Please do more videos with him." The collaborations between
Will Siegel is that what
in a hilarious video with comments such as.
You think that's really Will Siegel? Could you imagine Will Siegel was like that actual old man was like, this is so funny. That would be very interesting. Why an old guy would be so interested in Minecraft? I think we know the answer to that question. But it's most likely a weird troll. Or just an old guy who enjoys Minecraft.
This guy is hilarious, please do more videos with him. The collaborations between Skeppy and A6D continued, during which they would come up with the idea that A6D should troll Skeppy's other friend by the name of Bad Boy Halo. This led to another video called So the French Server Owner Finally Trolled Him, in which the hilarious dynamic between these three Minecraft YouTubers was put on full display.
How long did this take you to build this? Like,
14.
What was your build
Just
speed
say
on this
14.
project?
Just 14.
14 days?
14.
14 what? Days?
Say yes.
Hours?
Yes.
No, which one? Days or hours? Minutes? How long did it take you to build this? This is really good.
Yeah, 14.
No, how many, like, is it days, hours? Don't just say 14. How many what? 14 what?
Maybe 15, I think.
With this video also going on to gain a view count in the millions, Skeppy, A6D, and Bad Boy Halo came up with a very intelligent idea. They wanted to turn their trio into an official Minecraft group. They launched initially as the Muffin Squad, however they'd later rebrand to the Trio, in which they could each leverage their own unique strengths. This is where Skeppy's, A6D's, and Bad Boy Halo's popularity began to explode alongside each other. There were podcasts, troll videos, challenges, they released Trio texture packs, received their silver play button, all while Skeppy's personal channel would rocket past 2 million subscribers. It seemed like nothing was going to bring the trio undone. However, as always seems to be the case with these Minecraft YouTubers, some form of allegations were just around the corner for one of these trio members. On the 20th of August 2020, an account by the name of Sky would make a post on Twitter reading "Things A6D has done wrong," a thread with a post referencing 4 main points, being ableism,
transphobia, misogyny, racism based. Who cares? I don't care. Let's see what they are. Ableism. A6D has said the R slur multiple times, even calling people it without care, and openly says he can say it even though he cannot reclaim. Okay. I mean, listen, personally, I don't think anybody should say the R slur. I don't. I think it should be held in the same category as like other slurs. The reality is that people don't hold them into those categories because people don't really care about the people who are actually, those are used towards for the most part. Like, I've talked to a lot of people with intellectual disabilities, like people who are what you consider like more lower functioning, people who are supported by the system. They don't like it. I watched like this video about people with Down syndrome, and they're like, yeah, we don't like it. But people are like, no, who really cares? And then you have people with, like, for lack of a better term, like higher functioning, maybe autism or somebody with a physical disability rather than an intellectual disability saying like, yeah, the word's fine. Like, that's a whole conversation to have. But like, yeah, people in edgy gaming spaces using that word doesn't surprise me. I mean, you see it all over Twitter still. Okay, he uses the R slur for attention in a tweet basis that I can say the R slur if I want because of contact. Okay, whatever. Is very wrong. Called the R slur a medical term, and no one can use it because people used to. Yeah, it used to be a medical term. Transphobia. He has used the wrong pronouns for many people, including me, in multiple tweets and streams. He knew their pronouns. Dead name my boyfriend on his French 2.5. Oh, this is the French guy? Okay, all right. Account name, which is now private, said in Discord call that he didn't know what gender was to try to excuse him from being transphobic. Maybe he just didn't, because a lot of people... This is... How long ago is this? 2018? Okay. Misogyny, he has made fun of women wearing what they say... He made fun of women wearing what they want and said women on Twitch show their tits on streams for views. That's probably true. If you like, they're like, I'm not trying to be that guy, but racism. He has said not all cops and defended cops, even despite him being arrested twice. What? Okay, so when they said racism, I'm thinking this guy's throwing out hard R's, and I'm like, okay, I get that one. He said not all cops are bad, and he defends cops, even though he's been arrested. Okay. Oh no, how racist! That's so. What's up, Tipster? How you doing, brother? If that's the real Tipster, how is that? How is that racist? Like, yeah, we need to reform the police and fix the system by holding police more accountable. But how is saying not all cops are bad? Because that's a response to ACAB. How is that racist? So the problem is like with that framing, this is one of the big issues. And this happens a lot. When somebody says something a little bit suspicious, it kind of hurts. Okay. So if you think that this is race, and I see down here now, Twitter, trigger warning, grooming, and manipulation. Those could be definitely true. This is me being introduced to this. So like we're going through that, like the way that's how I operate. If you have somebody who has the perspective that saying not all cops are bad or bastards, if you think that's racist, you have a perception problem on the world, and I can't take you seriously. That's the problem. So now you have to look at everything that's being said through like the framing of like, okay, well, what's the context? Have the guy said the R slur like with his friends, and like, yeah, it's shitty, but like, not for now. I'm not trying to be that guy. This goes across all skin colors and ethnicities. Male group friends are racist to each other all the time, and they think it's funny. And I'm not, you know what I mean? It's like the context is very heavy here. So like, it's just hard to say like, well, you know, I don't know all the specifics here. These things sound kind of bad. Dead named my boyfriend on his French. I don't know what that even means. So I don't know what you want me to tell you, bro. But let's see. So I'm taking it with a grain of salt. All right, let's get to the other stuff.
Transphobia.
Why would you group grooming, manipulation, and BDSM together and suicide? Why BDSM? Oh, on his French account. Oh, okay.
Misogyny and racism. To be fair to Ace,
what's my favorite skin color? For me personally, I like a little tan. You know, because if I get too red, I burn, and I you know, I'm on a medication for my diabetes, which makes me very sun sensitive. So, you know, I try to keep my stuff like I wear a lot of sunscreen. I have the spray stuff on there. I put it on my head, on my face, on my arms, my legs, and everywhere that's exposed to the sun. I got to be careful. I'm getting old, you know.
A6D, some of the points made in this thread are complete nonsense. For example, the post states that because A6D has simply defended cops in the past, he's a racist, and because he said women on Twitch show their tits on streams for views, he's also a misogynist.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's kind of true. It depends on the context. You could make, but like, I feel like most of the time he's just like, it's kind of just true.
Now, whether or not
it's also interesting though, because he's a French person. So if he's living in France, their interactions with police are, and from my understanding, and I could totally be wrong, are so much different. There's a lot more white people there. They have a much different interaction with police. I actually think though, if anything, you'd call him like a bootlicker, because I think, and I could be wrong, I remember there was some kind of like issue going on with the French and the working class, where like they were being like they were overextending their power a few years ago. I don't remember the specifics. Don't quote me on that. But I don't think you could really make a claim of. It's a fucking French guy, so like, you know, he's from France. I guess so. That's what I'm assuming. Since he's French, so like it's a little different. I think, you know, there's different interactions with. Yeah, it's called Yellow Jackets. Yeah, I don't know the specifics on that.
Not this activity actually constituted racism or misogyny depends on your personal views and is therefore a pointless argument. However, it didn't seem to matter. Twitter began to eat the post up, jumping on the bandwagon that
Well, what about the other stuff? The Twitter, the grooming and stuff. What is
therefore a pointless argument. However, it didn't seem to matter. Twitter began.
Okay, I'll address each of these points and show how they're both lying and taking things out of context. I was sent some sexual stuff in my P.O. box months ago. This became an inside joke in several group chats. Okay, regarding the accusations of grooming. Are we really going to say that any creator that talks to their fans is the same as grooming now? I've only ever interacted with them as a creator and a fan. Okay, so how old were they?
To eat the post up, jumping on the bandwagon that A6D was a horrible person. Feeling the pressure from the whole situation,
Well, what's the grooming charges? Why why did SunnyV2 not talk about that?
A6D would jumping on the bandwagon that A6D was a horrible person.
I need to know the specific. I guess I gotta look into it now.
Feeling the pressure from the whole situation.
I've always tried to be as honest and transparent as I could. It's not going to change. You know, when I first introduced the stan culture on Twitter, I thought it was just satire. I mean, who the fuck would stan Minecraft YouTubers, right? But then I started to be attached to the community as a whole, either because I've always been curious about things in general, either because it was great for my self-esteem, but then it changed me.
Defend himself in a Twitter post explaining that
when I mean changed me, not in a positive way, people always being hypocrites to each other, talking behind people's backs, lying, and then I was there to pretend everything was fine and trying to interact with as many people as possible. So I got to just zoom in a little bit because I'm fucking old. While I was slowly losing faith in that community, that I didn't really know what to expect of in the first place. You can clearly see the difference between of the me in late 2018 and the me of today, and not in a positive evolution.
To hate the Minecraft stan culture by stating, when A6D started, my only wish was
that's where I stopped reading. Now he's gonna read it.
Have fun, to discover a new language, a new community. But then today I realized that all I want is to find that Minecraft video idea for a week and to hope that people aren't gonna start drama about me on Twitter over dumb stuff that I never said or was taken out of context. A6D would then go on to explain
and talking about how those rumors / drama, I want to make it clear another time, I've never and never will groomed anybody, neither asked any sexual stuff to anybody, and neither supported that pedophile that you still say I support on my French account. I couldn't even list everything I'm being accused of because there's so many. So wait, again, I don't know what the other person's claims are or what their evidence is. I'm assuming Sunny he hasn't showed it yet, but I guess we'll see. It sounds like he was in proximity of another sussy Minecrafter. Lion Maker? I don't know. Is that his name? I understand that there's the believing the victim, but there's also the presumption of innocence, especially if the victim doesn't even provide any proof.
And that he thought
oh, you're going too fast, Sunny. You're going too fast, Sunny. Get it? Because I'm an old guy. Now I'm going to speak about some of the stuff I think that needs to be talked about. If you talk shit about somebody on Twitter, whether you are a minor or not, you are responsible of what you tweet. The person you talk shit about has the right to reply, whether you're a minor or not isn't the question. If that person has more followers than you and calls you out on your actions, you can't just say, oh no, I'm a minor, he's sending the community at me, while I just have a few followers and he's hundreds of thousands of harassment. Yeah, you get to defend yourself if somebody makes like this claim like this. That's not how it works. First of all, no matter if... Okay. All right, yeah.
R word wasn't that big of a deal, stating, and before continuing, because I know people are going to compare it to the N-word, the N-word is not even remotely comparable to the R-word.
It is remotely comparable. I think that they are comparable, but like socially, they're not the same. They're not the same intensity. And again, that the fact that society doesn't interpret it as the same intensity has to do with the fact that people don't really care too much about people with intellectual disabilities. And like this whole other conversation to have. But like, yeah, like socially, yeah, he's right. Specifically when it comes to the intensity, the R slur is much more socially accepted. What's the N-word? Oh, let me write it out for you. Let me write that out for you, brother. No problem.
Even just in terms of power. The N-word has been used to dehumanize a whole category of people, while the R-word was a medical term.
Well, the R-word was also used to categorize the entire... The N-word used to be a way to categorize people as well. I just generally speaking, the R-word was a medical term, and it was being like used in a really provocative way, so we changed that, and people use it to be diminishing. So, like, you know, the history of the word is somewhat similar. I think that the intensity of the N-word is obviously worse, but again, let's keep moving on.
However, A6D would dig himself into his own grave with this statement, as he...
Whoa. Okay, so... let's see what else he says then. And now, as much as I'm going as much as I'm going into the R word, since it seems like a big deal, let's go through it completely, whether you like it or not. Did you know that until the late 1960s, idiot or moron were used as terms to call people with disabilities? But society evolves, and this is where I'm going. Yeah, society evolves in a way where like you use these less and less. I mean, back in the day, we used to use the N word for that too. But okay, you probably shouldn't have. He probably just should. This probably doesn't look great for him, but I feel like this isn't that big of a deal.
He implied that the N-word was something he couldn't say before he'd be exposed for saying it. Hey, another drama, yay. So on this new episode of Cancelled, there's me saying the N-word, so what was it? Well, it's about context, but who cares of context anyway, right, Twitter? With
what's the context?
An attached photo of, as mentioned, A6D saying the N-word.
What's the context here? What does that mean? What's the context? The only possible way that you could use this in context, it's so hard. Like, I don't know, where you're like, oh, did you call this person this word? And then you use the word. I mean, maybe it could be acceptable then, but outside of that, what are you talking about context? Also, though, was it the hard R or was it with an A? I don't know if we can really tell. N-I-G. Oh, okay, I shouldn't really be doing that. I'm just trying to see. Okay, we'll just move on.
Word. He'd state that he was saying it because he was testing a filter that he had set up, which would kick anyone who had said that specific word. However, he'd
I mean, if that's true, okay, that's actually context.
Still receive a mostly negative response with tweets such
If that's actually true, then it actually makes sense, to be honest with you. I mean, honestly, I would accept that. If it's true, if he could prove that's true, yeah, okay.
Says there is no context needed, you shouldn't say the N-word. Now you might be wondering, why are we even discussing this drama? It seems completely irrelevant from
Well, I'm more into the whole grooming stuff, but I guess
the
the
main goal of the
tweets
video
are
being the discussion of why Skeppy's channel has been on the decline.
Okay.
Well, it will be while A6D was feeling the heat from this Twitter drama that, presumably so the haters would focus on someone else, A6D would post a video recording exposing and destroying the credibility of Skeppy's videos.
Why would he do that?
Okay, so I'm telling you it's gonna be hard. I wrote a video, like the French server owner was all fake. Skeppy like asked me if I could help him for a video, and then I said yes. I didn't know at that point, but basically it was just faking, having sent him an email and then doing basically what we did. And he actually knew who I was the whole time because he asked me to make the video at first and sent me a message like this.
Remember, what is the exposing it? Wait, okay, hold on. Let me get this straight. Is what we're saying here that what he exposed Skeppy for is that some of their trolling videos were fake? That's it. Like sometimes, like what? Oh, God, check this out, guys. Reality TV, a lot of that's fake. They intentionally set up situations. Oh, we gotta cancel it. Who cares? Also, why you gotta be a pussy, bro? You're going down, so you want to bring everybody else down, you bitch. You fucking loser. French people, this is what I'm talking about. French people are fucking cowards. French people are fucking cowards. They're losers. It's why are you doing this shit? The fuck, bro? I could say it because French people are white, so it's okay to be like racist or whatever to the French people. So don't worry. What a shame, dude. This is what a shame.
Remember their first video together, in which Skeppy was meeting his French #1 fan A6D for the very first time? Well, it turns out the whole video was fake.
Oh, no.
A6D and Skeppy had actually been friends prior to filming that video, with A6D explaining that he'd helped with Skeppy's thumbnails and editing in the past.
That's also in this time that I met Skeppy. We started to become friends. I made a few video editings for him.
All this guy had to do was shut the fuck up for a couple of weeks, and everybody would have moved on with it. Real question? Did Skeppy disavow this guy or something? Like, why would he do this?
Him and thumbnails.
Suddenly, things started to make sense. For example, in the original French server video, A6D was supposed to be Skeppy's #1 fan and had been the one to email him asking him to join. Yet when
he was actually his #3 fan. Fucking exposed.
Skeppy would join, he was completely oblivious to who Skeppy was. Additionally, in a past Q&A, A6D had been asked about why Skeppy had believed the troll, to which A6D had somewhat of an unconfident response, because, well, as we know now, he was lying.
Why did you troll Skeppy with the French thing, and how did you get Skeppy to believe it? Hey, I was bored and he was dumb.
As a response to the expose,
okay, that doesn't really sound like... Okay, whatever. I don't know what emotion... Oh, yeah.
Skeppy would begin a live stream, understandably stating that he could no longer be friends with A6D.
Well, yeah, because A6D's a pussy. He's a bad friend. Was this before or after that?
Response to the expose,
Okay, in response to the expose, I felt sad, mad, bad. Yeah, true. I mean, that's reasonable.
He would begin a live stream, understandably stating that he could no longer be friends with A6D.
All I'm gonna say is that I can't be friends with A6D.
True.
This has nothing to do with Twitter drama or any of that. He knows why. I know why. I'm willing to forgive him, just not today. And I'm just leaving it as that.
A6D would then host his...
Yeah, dude, like, you can't be friends with that guy because it doesn't matter that's such a small, dumb thing. But if this guy's gonna expose you on some dumb bullshit, that's not... You can't trust that person anymore. Trust is dead. Especially since the fucking Skeppy's like, yeah, I don't care about the Twitter shit. Oh, so like the guy wasn't even going after him for Twitter shit, so you have no excuse.
His own live stream talking about Skeppy, which would deepen the beef even further.
He made a stream on me, talking for like half an hour, saying things about me, so that was the only thing that really got on my nerves a little bit.
The drama would also unfortunately mark the official disintegration of the Skeppy, A6D, and Bad Boy Halo trio, with Skeppy stating, "This isn't an easy post for me to make, however, I've decided to step back from the trio. There were so many times where I distanced myself from drama, but always found myself affiliated with it because of the trio. It was really draining for me, and that's something I don't really want to be a part of." No. However, this wasn't nearly the worst thing that had come about as a result of the drama. Suddenly, people began to question whether or not Skeppy's other videos could have possibly been fake.
Yeah, who cares?
For example, there was this video in which Skeppy would apparently order 72 pizzas to Bad Boy Halo's house, yet Skeppy wouldn't actually show the entire phone call during which he apparently ordered the 72 pizzas.
Customer service, how can I help you?
Hi, what's the most amount of pizzas I can order? I'm having a party right now.
No, we don't have a limit.
Oh, okay, cool. Alright, have a good night. I ordered it.
Then when the pizzas showed up to Bad Boy Halo's house, he'd only show 3 pizzas being opened. How do we know that he didn't only order 3 pizzas and sit them on top of a stack of empty?
Who fucking cares? Who fucking gives a shit? Who fucking cares? gives a fuck, bro? What the fuck is this? How do we know the pizzas were real? Who fucking this is Pizzagate? Oh my god. Who fucking cares? Oh my god. You're right, it could be fake. Maybe it's fake, maybe it's real. Who gives a shit? That's what it really comes down to. Who fucking cares? The bigger question here is like, oh, he didn't even show the whole phone call on his Minecraft. You guys always do that. That's what you motherfuckers do. You don't show the whole of anything. That's how these types of commentary and shit videos, and they're meant to be like fucking really quick brain melting videos that your fans can, like, your young fans can go, because they don't have the attention span to sit through like anything with any anything. So it's like, hey, you only showed us like half the conversation. What do you want? Hey, I didn't hear his credit card number and the 3 digits on the back. So how the fuck do I know if it's like, oh, whatever, who cares? Like, it's a presentation for your amusement. Okay, you should be doing your homework, but instead you're watching some asshole order a bunch of fucking garbage looking pizzas.
Boxes. Plus, there are only 37 pizzas in this shot. Where are the other 35 pizzas?
Fuck. Let me see if I can verify that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12. That's 36. There's only 37 pizzas. Holy shit. Where are the other numbers? I don't care.
That you claim to order in both the title and in the video.
Oh, yeah, I guess it's because his videos are targeted towards children, so they would believe videos like exposed. Yeah, true. Very silly.
A user on Reddit would notice that in another video titled, I got in a call with the scummiest owner ever, the scummy owner in the video sounded suspiciously like his friend Zalcom with a voice changer.
Okay, so basically I was going through some of Skeppy's old videos. I managed to find...
Hey, thanks for the sub. I gotta pause it for now.
SpongeBob92 just resubscribed for 6 months.
Fucker.
And the scummiest owner's voice sounded exactly like Zalcom. So basically all you have to do is just pitch up the voice, because he's just made his voice deeper by turning the pitch down.
However, all of this was still just speculation. I mean, come on, there was no way they could actually prove that any of these videos had been faked, right? Wrong. In 2021, a user by the name of TechTom would post a tweet longer titled, My Experience with Skeppy and Being Scammed, which began by confidently stating that the following is my account of my interactions with popular Minecraft YouTuber Skeppy, and how, after being lied to, it led me to undeniable proof his content is staged. Skeppy faked his interaction on his newest Fiverr video. The video in question was this one here titled, I joined an anti-Skeppy server, in which, as explained in the title, Skeppy finds a Fiverr ad for an anti-Skeppy hate server.
I was just sent this. I will invite you to anti-Skeppy Minecraft server about this gig. Calling all Skeppy haters. Dude, are you serious? Why? Why are you calling all Skeppy haters?
Skeppy then goes on to purchase access to the server for $5, also mentioning that he talked to the Fiverr seller prior to purchasing access.
I have added the server IP after communicating with the Fiverr legend himself. I added it to my server list.
Followed by Skeppy.
There's nobody on the server right now.
Skeppy apparently meeting the owner of the anti-Skeppy hate server after loading in.
Oh, what the heck? This guy just joined. Ah, this is awkward. My name is Skep. Why is your name Skep? Because I despise him so much.
The only thing was that this person he met within the server wasn't really the person who made the Fiverr ad. In fact, the server he was in wasn't even the anti-Skeppy server at all. It was just some random server he had created and faked for the purpose of the video. How do we know? Well, the person we mentioned previously who had written the tweet longer titled My Experience with Skeppy and Being Scammed would take to TikTok in a video explaining that he was the one who created the Fiverr ad for the anti-Skeppy server, yet no one ever bought access to it.
I've recently been scammed by a YouTuber with over 6 million subscribers. You guys have probably heard of Skeppy. He's pretty popular. All of his content is faked through an interaction I've had with him that led to the whole sequence of events. I made this.
Damn, Skeppy, you should have been much better at faking these things. You should have made a new Fiverr ad, you know? Okay.
Gig that you could buy an invite to an anti-Skeppy server, which I thought was kind of funny. I guess Skeppy thought it was pretty funny too, because he made a video on it, except he never actually went on the server. In Skeppy's video, he shows the packages, prices, and then says he contacted the seller and got on the server. He would have to pay to do that. And here is all the payments I've received on the account. 0. You could see that he makes it out to be that he's getting on a server with that. And here is all the payments I've received.
Let's see. Earned in December. Oh, so he's saying he did it in December. Okay.
Received on the account. 0. You could see that he makes it out to be that he's getting on a server with.
Wait, what is it?
And here is all the payments.
I'm a boomer, so what does this mean? Did this mean that he didn't respond to a couple of them? Order response rate delivered on time. Order completion. Oh, okay. Inbox response rate. Okay, I'm just confused how I'm a boomer.
I've received on the account. 0. You could see that he makes it out to be that he's getting on a server with.
Lock him up.
With the owner. But as the person who made this account, that never happened. He's also lying about paying me. It's clearly insinuated when he shows the packages and then goes on the server that he paid the owner to get there, but that never happened.
So what if this was just a big, a really big conspiracy theory this guy's pushing, even though he got the money so that he doesn't have to report it on his taxes? Boom, you don't even know. You don't even know. What if this guy's committing next level tax evasion, Tecton? You don't know. This guy might be evading his taxes and you guys are eating it up, eating up the conspiracy. Okay, he's screwing over the American tax. I'm assuming American taxpayer. Crazy.
So he went on what I assume is a private server to record this with this person who is not my account.
This TikTok not only definitively proved that some, if not all, of Skeppy's videos were fake, but Tecton also felt gypped that he hadn't actually been paid for access to the server. And while not being paid $5 wasn't really that big of a deal, at around the same point in time, it would be revealed that Skeppy had been scamming his audience in more than one way.
Oh shit! What was he doing? NFTs? What was he doing? Crypto scams? What was he doing? How was he scamming him?
For example, this thread would surface on the Invaded Lands forum titled "I got scammed on a Skeppy event," which stated, "I won a PvP Lands event a few weeks ago yet didn't get my prize. Skeppy told me I would get it in about 48 hours, yet it's literally been weeks. I've been checking my PayPal daily, but I definitely haven't gotten anything. I'm really worried about this and desperately have been trying to get in contact, but have nothing. I have proof I won the event and gave the right information. Did I get scammed? Proof, literally just watch his building competition video. I won for the watermelon build."
Maybe, I don't know.
Another user by the name of Chubby Dog would then add to this by stating, "I got scammed by Skeppy too. He was doing his first to find and kill him event on Invaded, and the winner got Overlord, and so he started and I found him and killed him, but he said I forgot to start recording, and so he didn't even give me it. Skeppy, big scammer."
Oh. Well, that second one doesn't sound like anything. The second one's like, the second one to me sounds like, it sounds like, hey, I got scammed too. We were doing a hide and seek event, and then I found him before he started the event, and he wasn't recording, so he said, "Yeah, you didn't win because I didn't say it started yet, so this doesn't mean anything." That's what it sounds. That's what that sounds like to me. But okay.
However, it wasn't only competition winners that hadn't been paid by Skeppy.
Now, recently, Skeppy has been under fire for apparently not paying his artists.
There were posts such as this one reading, "A few people are DMing me asking about this, so I better just tweet about it. No, I was not paid for the happy hoodie. I was not asked if I wanted to get paid, nor asked permission for Paradigm to use it."
I was not paid for the happy. What is the happy hoodie? Is that like a? Did he do like a art for something? Is that what happy hoodie? Because people have done art for me, and I'll be like, "Hey, can I use this?" And like, for instance, the images that I use like for my stuff, I paid for. I give them money. I usually give people like, if I really like your stuff and I start using it, I pay you. So like this background, somebody made this for me for nothing. Like, and then I gave him $100 because I was like, I like it a lot. Can I have it? Basically, is what I said. And he's like, yeah, sure. Same thing with my my little icon for my leftovers channel and my main channel. I give when I liked them a lot, I was like, these are really nice. So I gave them like $100. I was like, can I just want to have it. I want to use this. And they're like, yeah, sure. So like, it's mine now, and then I like it. It's cool. Like, whatever. That's what I usually do. But okay. I'm assuming there was a fan who made it, and then like Skeppy's just like, well, that's mine now, which I guess it is. They kind of made it for him, but like, you should be respectful. I don't know about like from a law perspective, but from like a merchant, I don't know, just being nice. You should be like, yeah, that's really nice. I appreciate that. I like it a lot, so I'm going to use this for something. Let me drop you like $100.
However, Skeppy did have a pretty reasonable response to these accusations, stating that all artists had been paid the amounts that they requested, and anyone who hadn't been paid was because they hadn't asked for payment.
I cannot
Oh, there you go. Okay. I mean, that's fair. I still think you should have offered payment, though, especially if you're making a lot of money.
read minds. I can't know what you want if you don't tell me. That's just simply impossible. And I want to give you what you want. I want to over-deliver. I want everyone to walk away from a situation being happy. But
that's the thing, is that, like, okay, the only thing I don't really agree with this is like, if what you literally said in the normal way, not the really nice way, is that like they didn't ask for anything, so you didn't care and you didn't give them anything. Like, you can offer. You can say, hey, like, what do you want? You can make an offer for it. Like, you have that ability. It's a little selfish and greedy that you didn't, and it's like, whatever, but it's true. But okay.
situations that came up today were purely impossible for me to fix because I was never told that there was any sort of request.
Shortly thereafter, another tweet would be posted by an account named Rurus, which read, as a general update, 3 of the public artists have been reached out to and have had their issues and payment resolved by Skeppy personally. The feedback from these interactions appears positive. Skeppy's response cooled the Twitter outrage, but only momentarily. By this point, it seemed like there was always another issue waiting for Skeppy around every single corner.
Here we go again. Twitter is back at it, trying to cancel
Jaden, what are you doing?
a Minecraft YouTuber because they made a joke.
This time, the problematic content in question was a tweet made by Skeppy reading, in today's video, I'll be beating a girl, followed by in bed wars.
Okay.
Resulting in a new wave of hate against Skeppy.
Please block me if you thought the joke Skeppy made was funny.
I mean, whether it's funny or not is irrelevant. It was dumb, but it's not problematic. That's, who cares?
He would then delete the tweet before posting a subtle apology video to his second channel.
I deleted the tweet because I genuinely did not mean any disrespect toward anyone in any way whatsoever. If you know me even a little bit, that's not who I am. And if
I mean, like, not for nothing, but like, you can't, okay, so this is like a weird thing. You can't apologize for things when you didn't do anything wrong, because you're just setting yourself up for fucking failure. Because like if you made a joke about I'm gonna beat a girl today in Bed Wars, tee, that's very funny. You know, you made the tweet, it's not problematic, but if you delete, like, this is the problem, is like if you delete it after people get outraged, you're kind of like, okay, this is like my standard that I'm not willing to die on this hill. So now they're gonna push even harder for like everything. You know, they're gonna fucking nay the shit out of you.
If you have no idea what I'm talking about, basically, I tweeted out this title. I used this as a video, and I basically dug my own grave on Twitter, long story short. It's completely my fault. I know that now, and it was just absolutely unnecessary, but I genuinely did not.
Oh, no problem, brother. Were you the person I rated yesterday? Yeah, no problem, man. I appreciate you stopping by and saying something. I really do.
Not mean it in any sort of negative way, and I take it back if I still can. I just want to say I'm genuinely so sorry.
However, his response to the drama only prompted his audience to dig further for more damning tweets. They'd find posts such as this one reading, "Call my girl PlayStation because she's 5," as well as a video in which Skeppy had...
Is that like a tweet he made? Wait, what?
Damning tweets. They'd find posts such...
Who cares?
Is this one reading, "Call my girl PlayStation because she's 5."
I mean, it's not exactly a hidden tweet with 67,000 fucking likes.
As well as a video in which Skeppy had said the F slur. However, the worst thing to have come about as a result...
I mean, like, okay.
PlayStation because she's 5, as well as a video in which Skeppy had said the F slur. However, the
5 years ago. Okay.
Worst thing to have come about as a result of this cancellation attempt was someone creating a burner account to create a long string of fake allegations, stating that Skeppy had abused them as a child, to which Skeppy would respond stating, "This is absolutely ridiculous. I've never laid a finger on anyone ever. More than half of your story does not align with my upbringing, and I seriously can't believe the extent some people go to bring others down. This is complete slander and defamation." Everything that Skeppy had been through began to have a clear effect on his content.
I guess it's possible, but it sounds like nobody's putting a face to the name. That makes it like, you know, it's dangerous when you can push allegations with absolutely without attaching yourself to them, and then people are like, yeah, sure, I believe it, you know.
And personality. There were tweets such as, "Who the hell told Skeppy to change his entire personality?" While others such as Tommy Innit stated that he used to enjoy Skeppy's videos, yet had stopped watching as the content had become too intense.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, I used to watch all of Skeppy's videos. All of them. And he uploaded twice a day.
By clicking this button right here.
It's very intense. I hate to say it, I miss the old Skeppy. I'm not a big fan of the hyper editors. In your face, you know, I feel like I could die. And I don't want to die.
It's a good point.
Sure. I mean, so there's two things that are possible here. One is that, like, that's a genuine criticism. And two is that he's kind of riding the hate wave without riding the hate wave, because it's like, it's socially palatable. Yeah, that's true. If anybody says I used to watch all your videos, they're probably lying. Yeah, oh yeah. A lot of times it's like just kind of like a shitty time. And listen, he could be genuine, but it's always interesting that, like, oh man, this person's in trouble for being bad. Lol, you know, I used to love them too, but his videos, they stink now. And listen, I don't know the context. Maybe he's not doing that. But if I had to take a shot in the dark, chances are that a lot of the motivation comes from just wanting to ride the hate wave in some way, but play plausible deniability. Like, yeah, you have allegations against you with this, this, and this. I don't want to weigh in on those because that can make me look bad. But you know what? Your content is super stinky now. It's like, maybe it is, or maybe it is. But like, a lot of it's probably just like, yeah, people are hating on this guy. I want to go after him. And especially, and listen, I know I'm going down a little bit of a rabbit hole and I'm being very speculative, but you're also a Minecraft YouTuber in a very competitive space, because that Minecraft YouTubing has like blown up. I wouldn't doubt it if it's like more, hey, you know, hey, listen, you capitalize. If you speak down on him, it by association pulls more people towards your channel, you know, because you would be, to a degree, a substitute. I could be hyper speculating, but like, listen, it seems interesting that this guy's getting bombarded with what's SunnyV2 saying false allegations. And all of a sudden you want to weigh in on the character of his videos and how he used to be so good and he fell off and whatever. It seems it's very convenient. It's very convenient to just like come in and kind of, what I would say, morally grandstand during a situation like this. That's exactly what it comes to me, how I look at it.
Skeppy's new style feels like a bit of a Mr. Beast gaming ripoff. Its fast-paced nature is void of that relaxing relatability that was present in the early days of his channel. Yet it's hard to say if this has been a positive or a negative, as maybe if he had never changed anything, his viewership might be even lower than it is currently.
Yeah, that's a good point. Very good point. All right, let's see what Skeppy has to say about that. Who is that guy that looked like me?
There are countless
at the end of the video.
Hello.
He was fat. This guy, who's this fat guy?
On the 5th of July.
Oh, he faked his death. Oh, okay. I thought it was like me or Wings or something. I don't know. Anyway, let's see what Skeppy has to say. So recently, coming to my attention that a YouTuber decided to make this video. Shit, dude, I wish people would make videos about me. The reason why Skeppy's career has been dying. Is this DMCA music? So shut up.
Congratulations, big man. You just attempted to step me. Here, wait. Let's go on an adventure together. Just you and me.
This certainly is not for me. He's doing internet blackface, bro. Cancel him.
No, I just mean an analysis adventure. You fucking idiot.
Skeppy but poopy.
Look at this. Look at all of them. It's amazing. The potential here is unlimited. The things I could do. Let's put together about 5 minutes of research, creating a series of, let's call them Skeppy events. Of course, not having any real involvement.
Oh my god. How am I going to defend you after watching this? What are you doing, bro? I can't believe I defended you. You know, I used to watch all your videos. And now, with this, you change, bro. You change. Call me Papa Out It instead of Tommy In It. That's the joke. I feel like I had to explain that because it's very dad humor. And only the older women that watch my videos would get it. But they're probably not going to watch this video. Unless they really like me a lot. Which I wouldn't doubt. Because a lot of women are... I'm just so sexy. Just saying.
Understanding or real context about these
Coco Melon editing, absolutely.
situations. What if they've been addressed? Who gives a shit about that? See, I'm super clever, and I'm not actually gonna personally attack Skeppy on anything. Just simply plug together the darkest Skeppy events where he messed up and portray it exactly how I want. This villain appearing in my story.
Don't let
You're taking this so personally. Okay. In his defense, I have it increased slightly. Let's put it on normal speed for a few seconds to see if it's at
Nothing malicious, I swear. Here, let me try. Step 1, pick a random creator
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty,
that's been on the platform long enough. Okay. Step 2.
Dig.
It is a lot of context very fast, but what Skeppy's saying isn't necessarily wrong. I mean, this is the interesting thing. Is SunnyV2, whether you like him or not, what do you call these? These aren't like video essays. These are like commentary videos. These are like short form commentary videos, right? SunnyV2 is like the leader of these commentary videos. He's the one who finds he's like a lot of people. Like you look at the Internet of Jays and even the Papa Guts, like this isn't criticism. For the most part, people enjoy the content creator, like myself, but they enjoy the topic at like a proportionate amount, if that makes sense, in some proportionate amount, right? So, you know, I'll get a certain number of views on any video I post, but I get more views if it's a more interesting or compelling topic. SunnyV2 is the guy where like that ratio is skewed differently, where like SunnyV2 will get views regardless of the topic, generally speaking. If this makes sense, because he's a popular content creator, people like the way that he styles his videos. Of all criticism, like he does an excellent job of proposing the news from an entertainment standpoint. You know, he doesn't like go too deep into everything, which bogs people down and like what the fuck, you know, which I think can be a negative when it comes to, you know, grooming allegations and shit like that. But yeah. So, but he's picked this like a topic that he felt would be popular, even though it's not a popularized topic. Does this make sense? It's a big name, so it might get views, and it's interesting enough because it's a big name, but it's not like a current and on-brand topic. But then he creates the trend in the brand, so then you start seeing like when he did videos on Only Jays, all of a sudden fucking 17 people doing Only Jays. That's how this kind of a thing works. Like he'll talk about a topic. So yeah, that's just kind of how it works. And I wonder if other people are like working on their Skeppy videos to try to get that the Skeppy vid and give him the old nay pogger, you know. So he's kind of right, though. I mean, like, he's kind of right. He's right to say that, though, because, like, SunnyV2 he found a popular topic to talk about, and he's talking shit in a way that it makes it seem like he's impartial, which is kind of true. But then also he does pick and choose which information to kind of give out, so...
So was it bucket or fuck it? Or wait, no, I've got a better one. From potato to I promise I'm done swearing after this. Old family-friendly Skeppy will be back one day, just not today, because these I feel a little
Did you say the N-word?
bad though. I never really swear much in my videos, and I'm sure some people don't appreciate my naughty words.
Why are you going on a tangent about whether you curse or not?
You know what? Even better than swearing. Sometimes I might do silly, Skeppy things. I might yell, or just straight up be an idiot. But swearing! I made like 1,000 videos, and sworn in probably like 1% of them. I mean, not like I have any motivation around me not to swear. Language! But I'm sorry, today I just can't help myself. Now I'm left forced to respond to this. hey, you're not being forced to do anything. But if I don't, people might think it's presented with accurate information. Now, I watched the video, and everything was exactly as I expected. You know, like the specific video clips chosen where I talk about certain topics, it really just tickled me the wrong way a little bit. It just sucks.
This is Drew Afuelo level of irritation. Like, I actually took an aspirin. Like, this is insane. My head's gonna fucking explode. Come on, bro.
Vital parts I would have wanted to have kept in just didn't make the cut and wasn't used.
Like, not for nothing, but like, this is one of those videos where you probably should have broke a character. Because holy fuck. Like, oh my god, my head's gonna explode. And this was possibly like this guy already gets views, so like he's not like falling off or anything in any real capacity. You know, it just is what it is. But holy fuck, bro. Like, this was your chance to counter the narrative and correct the record, set the record straight. The problem is that you made the video the way that you made the video, and the way you make videos is to appeal to your audience. What you should have done is you should have just sat down and maybe just watched the video. Then I would have just watched him watch the video. But like, or just gave him some like, hey, like, here's my, and like the points you're making aren't horrible, that he's taking stuff out of context, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's totally fine. But like, this isn't making, nobody's tuning into this. Except, I mean, I am. I'm going to literally suffer through this, but.
And it's just my stupid, dumb opinion that this video is straight up garbage. You can clearly tell I'm just a little bit aggravated, okay? Because there was just one thing which tipped me over
It should be called Noise the Video.
the edge and made me feel so mad more than anything else. Because I could handle it all. But this one thing. Listen, all I'm saying is if anyone's going to be talking about significant events and the history of me, it's going to be me, motherfucker. You just had to bring this up, didn't you, Sunny McSun? This one actually hurt. It's like a dagger right to the heart. But what do you care?
Get to the fucking point, bro.
I bet you think you're pretty clever now, don't you? Now, I know you have a passion to research and document my dumb, dying career. So congratulations, man. You really motivated me to make this
Whoa, they have a treadmill where you can actually run on it and it runs for you? That's actually very cool.
response video, because I guess I got nothing left. You see, the problem I have with this video, it isn't just because it's misleading.
Why you bully me?
It isn't just because the way it portrays me. It isn't just because it's negative. And it isn't.
Hey, feel free to make a very misleading video about me so that I can watch it and I can talk about how you're wrong. It's really good content.
Is it just because I get hate from it? But the problem I have is with Sunny. Not just because I think he's a big, fat, stupid, dumb meanie head. You just took whatever was convenient to you, mashed it up, highlighted a few tweets, and then the worst day is done. But I got curious. I wanted to look at my competition, so I did. And I'm not gonna lie, there's some bad people out there. But the more I looked, the more I started to ask the question, why does Sunny make these videos in the first place? And that's a good question. And I'm hungry for
content, I guess. Sometimes I'm just going to be pausing just to take a fucking break from his screaming. And I'm being honest. Okay?
answers. So I started going through Sunny's channel.
Maybe Tommy Innit was right. Maybe I gave him. Maybe I have to. Maybe I should title
video because I guess I got nothing left.
Maybe I should title this video. Sorry, me apologizing to Tommy Innit. Because let's see. All right, let's see. I'm gonna go all the way down to like some of his banger videos.
Like right now. So Minecraft server now. Come on. Factions 1.8 pre-made.
Wow.
Okay. Can I please buy it now, please?
It's actually so much better. His old videos are like you can fucking listen to them, bro.
Check out. Okay. Don't flag for being high risk. I'm a person.
All right. Maybe Tommy Innit was right. I mean, I would still say that he jumped in during all the hate to be able to capitalize it in some capacity because it's a popular topic, but he ain't wrong.
Like, this looks so bad. Okay, wait. How's that? Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. I got to put it on increased speed. Sorry.
That you wouldn't even tell. Unless you were really looking. You wouldn't.
Yeah, the similar energy's there. It's just not as intense.
Highlighted.
I wonder what because my head doesn't hurt watching that. That's all I have to say. Who's he?
Picture this. You're playing in a Minecraft event. The stakes are astronomical. And then you see a player. Yup. Oh my god. Wait, you can place blocks too? Hold on.
Oh, even the previous video is not as bad as this one. Maybe he's just going fucking ballistic because he's just upset. Because even the previous video is not that bad. It looks like he also gets similar views. Oh no, these have like 17 million. Well, those are only a few. These are probably just like somewhat outlier. Oh, maybe not. There's a lot of like 8 million, 6 million. Let's see. What's the most popular video?
100 kids.
Why are you crying?
Alright, so in today's video, we got 100 kids, put them in a bedrock box. Is this big enough, guys? Yeah. Over here.
I don't know. Okay.
And even though it was hard for me to be a fan of him, because this stupid...
I still remember filming this video, and the first half was filmed with my microphone and my headset, but then the second videos really didn't get any views, so it was pretty hard to stay motivated to continue making them. I'd failed, once again, and I was feeling a little defeated by YouTube at this point.
I watched a few of these videos, and they all felt the same. Real and genuine. He made a video talking about how he got to 100,000 subscribers, which is awesome, cool. And the story on how he got there. It's really inspiring, and it looks like we might even have a little bit in common.
I was gonna figure out what got views, how the algorithm worked, and constantly push myself to my limits with editing and effort within my video.
I'm really starting to like this guy, I can't lie.
Created the video, The Rise of Friendly Geordies, which performed really well, getting 45,000 views in the first 2 weeks.
So it seems like Sunny's first big video was a video documenting someone's success. That seems pretty awesome. So he did it again, but then there looked like there was a twist somewhere.
Rather than documenting his uprise, I wanted to document his downfall. And ever since, I've just been posting similar videos to these ones.
Sunny decided not only to document the successes, but the downfall. And like I said, there were a few really bad apples doing some really gross stuff. But as time went by, I guess we wouldn't see too much more of the positive.
Yeah, now the video's toned itself down, or maybe the fucking aspirin's kicking in. Maybe that's the problem.
It's almost like the downfalls just have a better narrative to them. But there's nothing wrong with that for the people who've done those ew things. But it all still didn't make any sense to me. Why didn't Sunny make the 1 million subscriber special? He did for 1K and 100K. No, it just wouldn't have fit into his style of content. Wait a minute, Sunny's style of content? That is just peculiar. Sunny made a video telling people to stop cancel culture. But all I see is, wait, what?
Wait. This hold up, my editor's so fucking bad. He's actually kind of got a decent point. This was probably the video to not open up with 3 minutes of fucking noise, because he's making a decent point. He's saying, like, listen, because here's the thing, and this is like it's a very interesting relationship people have, is as a content creator, you need to balance your genuinity with the content that you produce. As you make content, people will prefer different. You'll see trends of what they do and don't prefer, and a lot of times you'll gravitate towards them, which is not fundamentally wrong, but sometimes it could potentially get a little bit chaotic and toxic. That being said, I don't really have an issue with rise and fall videos, other than they tend to be 15 minutes, and it's so difficult to really research and put full context in. And then, of course, usually the content creators who make it, they produce it in a way where they seem objective. And so, you know, it comes off as like, well, I'm just reporting the information, and they kind of have that backplay on there. So he's making a decent point. I don't know if you could necessarily say that, like, SunnyV2 is this, like, horrible content creator because of this is the type of content he makes, but there is a question it is a rise of a question of the motivation here seems to be that he does really well when he talks about, like, the downfall of you know, people who have been canceled in some capacity, and, you know, retreading that drama back up and highlighting it specifically in the way when it comes to the potential sensationalization of what is being said. Oh, I just whistled. And I know that sounds so weird, but a lot of content creators across multiple platforms have like and I'm not saying Sunny does this. It's just it's an interesting question and a conversation to have. But a lot of content creators will they'll get like a big hit video that does really well, and they'll talk about somebody, and let's say it's somebody really bad. After that, they see positive attention in this instance, talking about a really bad person in the correctly contextual manner. After that, though, there is a motivation to find other people who have done something equally or more bad, or in the general realm of badness, and report it with an intense context. Be like, oh, look at this person, they're bad as well. Once you run dry on truly bad people to talk about, you need new people. But also, the energy needs to be maintained so that you can maintain the viewership on your video. And all of a sudden, you're looking at content creators and you're proposing the information the exact same way with somebody who is like truly problematic, like, you know, some kind of a groomer, versus somebody who isn't really problematic, such as Skeppy. And I think that's the argument that he's trying to propose here. Is like, bro, you maintained this like really heavy energy. The way that you relayed information had the same exact energy as the way that you relayed information for like fucking Lion Maker or whomever else. I don't know. And I think that's where Skeppy's coming from. Again, the problem is, man, this fucking it's a brain explosion. Holy shit.
Most of the time, the people doing the cancelling are very insignificant people who, to be quite frank, haven't achieved much of significance in their own lives.
Oh?
We have to look at context, relevancy, and intentionality. And that is one of the big issues that's gone out the window in current PC culture climate.
Listen, clip this and tell everybody this. In the near-ish future, there is going to be another rise and fall content creator that's going to hit SunnyV2 with an exposed video, which is going to be mostly kind of bullshit, and it's gonna topple the fuck out of the guy. It's gonna hit him hard emotionally, and it's gonna have an impact on the guy's content. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen, man. It's gonna be some rise and fall sussy baka, and they're gonna go and they're gonna look at any video that criticizes Sunny, and they're gonna propose the points in a way that's probably sensationalized and makes him look as bad as possible. And he's gonna get the fucking. It's not gonna cancel him fully, but it's gonna hit him. Because here's the thing. Half of a cancellation is how you respond to it and the way you feel about it, if not more of it. You know, that's why you see a lot of people like your Steven Crowders who gets constantly like hit with like cancellations, but nothing happens to him. He doesn't get negative viewership because he just doesn't care. People like that. Same thing with like Hassan. He just doesn't care. Okay. And that's what basically happens. And like a lot of it is like the way that you respond to it. So I'm just saying, bro.
Completely agree, man. Let's look at the intentionality. What was your intention here? Well, let's see. All the points you discussed. If you really wanted to know the answers to these things, you could have messaged me, you know. The intention about making a video on why my career is dying, which had false representations and unanswered questions, could have been answered, you know. There were no ulterior motives here, right?
And that's what I hate the most.
I really recommend checking this video out.
Grow the fuck up, you massive attention-seeking. Is it just me, or is the bar getting lower and lower for getting cancelled?
Well, in Sonny's defense, even when he talked about James Charles, he has this, you know, it is interesting. When he talked about James, this was actually, when he was talking about James Charles, for instance, he was talking about James Charles' biggest issue, the way that he responded to the drama and how he could have avoided it. It was a little bit bizarre. So he usually offers that, like, I hate cancel culture perspective, but I didn't get that vibe from this Skeppy video. So what's interesting is that James Charles, who I would say has, his allegations are much worse than Skeppy's, SunnyV2 proposes this idea of, like, here's how you could have done better. Like, you could have avoided this, you know? But when it came to Skeppy, he's just like, yeah, this guy fucking faking his Minecraft videos? Holy shit, you're terrible. Hey, stop manipulating children by faking their Minecraft videos. Instead, manipulate children by sending them your penis, right? Like, that's... I'm just saying, man, it is interesting to say, you know, and I've called out a couple of other videos, like his Gypsy Crusader video, which to me felt like there was like a hint of justification on what Gypsy Crusader did. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, like, I've watched some videos and I've noticed a little bit of an interesting trend, and the trend of you know, I'm not even gonna say downplaying, but the trend of being more favorable to people who get canceled because he feels like cancel culture is bullshit. That energy simply isn't here for this video on Skeppy. So, like, there's an argument to be made there, man. You know, like, at least be consistent with everybody. Just saying.
I don't know, man.
Then when the pizzas showed up to Bad Boy Halo's house, he'd only show 3 pizzas being opened. How do we know that he didn't only order 3 pizzas and sit them on top of a stack of empty boxes? Is it just me, or is the bar getting low?
Where did the missing pizzas go?
I have over 10 creators written down on my whiteboard, so it's more just a matter of who do I start with.
I'm sure the way I'm portraying the story is totally accurate, and if Sunny's watching this, he might have a different say? Well, who gives a fuck about that? Sunny, why are you doing this to yourself? None of the content that you seem like you actually wanted to make had anything to do with what you do now. It seems like your genuine opinion doesn't really line up. It's confusing. I guess you're just talking about how—
I didn't like his Call Me Carson video. I don't remember. I don't remember watching it. But apparently I didn't like it. Okay, I don't remember
people kill their own career. That's what it is. Taking whatever information and bits and pieces that you find, aligning it, portraying it, showing it off however you choose for your—
Hold on, sorry, I want to read
and bits and pieces that you find, aligning it, portraying it, showing it off.
Hey guys, welcome back to another SunnyV2 video. Quick disclaimer, all the stuff I'm showing you, you could possibly be bending the truth, but I'm not presenting them as a fact, so it's fine, but you should just assume it happened exactly the way I'm presenting it.
However you choose for your fans to watch. Well, actually, you can't really grow a fan base talking about other people all the time, but I do wonder why you left these videos up.
Whoa, what do you mean? That's all I do. Are you telling me I'm—
Well, actually, you can't really grow a fan base talking about other people all the time.
What are you talking about, dude? Damn, I guess that's the end of my career. Have you tried talking about others, manipulate the truth? Okay. Talk about others. Have you tried talking about others, manipulate the truth?
But
Okay.
I do wonder why you left these videos up and privated the rest of them. I guess you must have been genuinely proud of them. You sure are good at this, Sunny. You are just so talented, so gifted at painting out a solid, accurate picture of the past. I just hope I can do as good a job as you, dude.
You can frame whatever you want, however you want, if you know how to do it. Cancellations in some circumstances are appropriate.
And maybe you deserve to have your career ruined. Most of the time, the people doing the cancelling are very insignificant people who, to be quite frank, haven't achieved much of significance in their own life. Most of these people just stumble across an opportunity by bringing someone down who spent their entire life working on a skill like content creation. Think about how self-centered and rude this is. You're trying to bring down a big influential content creator who's likely to inspire thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of kids, adults, teenagers, just to feel a little bit more significant. You want to try and bring down a big influential content creator. You want to say something from a depressive life.
Damn. It's true, man. If you live long enough. What is it? What's the saying? Something about if the hero lives long enough, they'll eventually become the villain. It's crazy, dude.
The things that are being taken out of context.
What the dog doing?
I thought that was the end of the video. I was like, oh my god, thank god. What is all this stuff saying?
What the dog?
Why aren't you bro? I'm gonna read what all these say. I'm not gonna lie, I've come across some real jerks in my time, but I sincerely believe you are a complete scumbag. I can't believe you would go out of your way not only to present narratives which falsely falsify reality and simply the truth. I guess he meant simplify the truth, but to absolutely misrepresent myself with multiple false allegations to share to your 1+ million subscribers, presenting your research, quote unquote, as fact, which is only to be complete lies, and I have every single bit of evidence. A lot of your points are truly dumb, missing pizzas, lol, and yes, I guess this bothered me, otherwise I wouldn't have responded. Like, I usually would have just ignored it. Anyone can see what you're doing, and it really isn't too difficult to create your garbage style of content. Believe me, at least my hyper editing trash requires effort. You should have stuck to with what you love doing, bro. You would have made it. But please don't even let me get started on the amount of hypocrisy your entire existence is just by watching your old videos. LMAO. Quite literally, anybody can see the real you just by going through old videos you forgot to private. I might have accidentally found many more clips, which you would define as disastrous downfall way too effortlessly. You are a grade A hypocrite. At least, you know what's fun? I'm going to read this like Gino Samuels would read. Christian. You are a grade A hypocrite. At least stay true to yourself, jerk. I guess you were joking, looking for a target to obtain some personal gain off of. Here I am, Sunny. You did it. Are you going to apologize for your mistakes? You've generated a massive wave of hate sent my way based off of your own deception. I just love the horrible threats I've been receiving thanks to you. I don't know how you sleep at night, but you are truly disgusting. Do better. Okay. Liquid Papa. Yeah, Liquid Gino.
What dog doing?
It's hard for my small brain to comprehend your logic. Your title states my career is dying, and then you proceed to show a graph of my overall views on a decline. This has to be by far the dumbest logic I've ever seen. Surely even you can't see why, right, Sunny? And I'm not going to lie, I really used to care about YouTube views and stats a lot. Not a single day would go by without checking my social blade. It says Sobiel blade. There's a few spelling errors here. Or real time. Or every hour LMAO for a long time. I now honestly could care less for views, counts, analytics. Well, this must mean the lack of uploads recently defined my existence and career is dying. Yeah, I mean, like, that's one of the really toxic trends. Let's see. So apparently he posted 400 videos in 2019, and he's only posted 20 videos in 2022. Well, it's somewhat early into it, but I guess, like, we're halfway there, so he would have posted about 200 by now. So he's posted less. Only real intellectuals, not Sunny, obviously, understand that they may be less videos equal less views. I mean, you're probably getting fewer views per video, but I think that the toxic aspect of the constantly being obsessive about how well your views are is really detrimental, because you could look at anybody's trends, and there's like times people have like really good video. There's so many different factors to being successful, and you just shouldn't stress too much about it, you know.
Sunny.
If only he'd said this stuff. Yeah, right. Why didn't he just say everything I read? You'd have to pause the video and like fucking read it out. You spent, like, no offense, but you spent a considerable amount of time. You spent an absolutely considerable amount of time. Is that like, whatever? You spent a lot of time memeing the fuck out of this video when you could have like actually said that out loud and it could have had a much more positive impact. Okay. Also, a little bit of advice here. When you want to use somebody's thumbnail, you can go to this website here, YouTube thumbnail, and then you could literally just take the title here, and then you could get the thumbnail much more easily. This is probably a good tool for you instead of like trying to zoom in and like a copy paste thing. Boom, I have your thumbnail, and I don't have the time marker on there, so that's just it's a bit of advice for you. Wait, what is this? This isn't even the right video.
It just looks like you've become what you despise the most.
Looks like you become. What the fuck? Sorry.
Well, that's great and all, but what about all the shit he said about you? Your events are a total copy of Mr. Beast. I have made Minecraft Challenge
Well, look at the Sneeko versus Hamza Beast. Just send it to me on Twitter or something, and I'll take a look, my brother.
videos before Mr. Beast Gaming was a channel.
Mr. Beast Gaming ripoff.
People before me have made Minecraft Challenge videos. People after me will make Minecraft Challenge videos. It's really not that deep, but just for Sunny, in case he's dying to know, before Mr. Beast actually started doing events, he called me and he said, hey, I'm making Minecraft events. Want to make a video together? Because I don't want people thinking I ripped you off. Those were his exact words. And you know, I was shocked. I literally took it from him. I just did what he was doing in Minecraft, and it worked. But he was saying that to me. I mean, he's just a legend. But quite clearly the opposite happened here. And that's just what happens on YouTube sometimes. You have no idea how many times I have seen content creator A create said video, and then content creator B creates a similar video, and what do you think happens? The video with more views is always assumed to be created first, which makes no sense, but that's just how it is. Yeah, okay, whatever, but how could you—
What is his point here? I'm just so confused. What's the point of what he's saying? Is he trying to say... If his argument is that there's a lot more competition now, that's why one of the reasons why his views might be lower, sure. But I have no idea what the fuck he's talking about.
Scam your own fans! What?
This thread would surface on the Invaded Lands forum titled, I got scammed on a Skeppy event, which stated, I won a PvP Lands event a few weeks ago yet didn't get my prize. I've been checking my PayPal daily, but I definitely haven't gotten anything. I'm really worried about this and desperately have been trying to get in contact, but have nothing. I have proof I won the event and gave the right information. Did I get scammed? Proof, literally just watch his building competition video. I won for the watermelon build.
That's just so interesting. I mean, how could someone be dumb enough to upload a video advertising someone winning and then not pay them? I mean, maybe if they were an idiot like me. Alright, let me just take a look, okay? This post right here, where Sunny openly claims that I'm a scammer. The creator of the post name is Zach.
He's arguing SunnyV2's point that his videos are just Mr. Beast copies. Yeah, but when did he make that point? I just missed it? I don't remember, and I could just be wrong because I'm an old idiot. Is he saying SunnyV2 said that he was just making Mr. Beast video in that video? Did he really say? I fucking completely missed that. How did I miss that? He credited the videos were first, but Sunny blamed him for stealing Mr. Beast's video because they had more views. Oh wow, I'm a fucking moron. Oh, he said making Mr. Beast gaming video. Oh, I get it. I guess that like was just like a small thing he said, and I didn't really like pick up on it. Okay, so he didn't like super enforce that point. He just said making Mr. Beast gaming videos. All right, so it wasn't like a super enforced point. But he's basically saying that he stole from Mr. Beast, and then the response here is that he actually made the videos first, and then Mr. Beast took it, and he made them better. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, at one point, Blizzard Entertainment did things like that for across different styles of gaming, and then they stopped because they're a fucking abysmal bullshit fucking company. Thank you, activism. So there's nothing wrong with taking an established a style and just doing it better, which is apparently what Mr. Beast did. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, it's not like SunnyV2 created like these types of videos. You know, this is just kind of the ebb and flow of things. Like, this is just how things tend to happen. But okay, now I get it. I guess I missed that. It just didn't really stick out to me. I didn't really pick up on that.
All. So I decided to look into it. You have no idea the amount of digging I had to do to get this screenshot, which was a list of all the winners in the event. Now, Zach's alt was one of the winners, and as you can see right here, they gave me their PayPal email. And funny enough, I searched through my transactions. There it was! The prize money of $100 of what was owed.
Well, yeah, I guess the argument is that you forgot to send it or something.
Okay, is there anything else I have to say?
There were multiple prize winners who each won $100, which I have all the other transactions, so I just decided to say, fuck it, LXD, let me scam just one of the winners. I'm so happy I get to prove my innocence. Hey, I guess it's a good point.
Another user by the name of Chubby Dog would then add to this by stating, I got scammed by Skeppy too. He was doing his first to find and kill him event on Invaded, and the winner got Overlord, and so he started and I found him and killed him, but he said I forgot to start recording, and so he didn't even give me it. Skeppy did.
Bro, what the fuck?
Scammer.
Okay, let's see. Skeppy did an event, he forgot to start recording, and he didn't give me the prize and he scammed me. I don't host events for ranks, but even so, the claim here, Sunny, I own Invaded. Overlord is a rank on Invaded. You do realize I can grant people ranks for free, right? It doesn't cost me anything. So the claim here is that I recorded a video and hosted a prize for Overlord, which I don't even host events for rank prizes, by the way. And then this guy won the event, and then I was like, bitch, fuck off, I didn't record. Even though I could just type a command and give you a rank for free, you can just piss right off. Sunny, I'm not a dick, but I must say you are just a master manipulator.
I mean, even if that part was true, what the narrative I said was like, oh, well, if he didn't start the event yet, that's what it sounds most like to me. Why would he grant you the rank if it's for content? Like, it makes sense to make videos for content. It's okay to make videos for money as long as you're being honest about your videos, you know? But I guess that's not even the narrative that happened. Okay.
You've really got a lot of my own fans to turn against me here. I mean, ask around.
Let's see what these
a master manipulator. You've really got a lot of
genuinely can't believe you scam your own fans up. So yeah, see, that's weird. Like, you scam your own fans. There was like 2 instances of people getting scammed. Or wait, there was a third one when it came to like them not paying for the other stuff. But like, yeah, now, dude, but this is the thing. No offense to people who watch, but this comes down to the massive unintelligence of a lot of people who absorb information. None of my fans are that. If you're watching this video, you are incredibly intelligent. But there's a lot of absolutely fucking stupid people. And they will hear a narrative from a person they like, and then that is the narrative that runs with it. And they will forget all the other information. And they'll be like, oh, and then all of a sudden they run with that narrative. People can be very unintelligent. People can be very biased. And then there's also part of it where people aren't super invested in everything. But, you know, this is like a controversial type of content. I wouldn't say that this guy was a scammer to his fans. You know what I mean? There's a couple instances. Like, everybody, things fall through the cracks sometimes. It just seemed more like what it is. So, you are the smartest audience ever. Absolutely. All of you guys. Anybody watching, you're very good. Okay. You're especially intelligent if you dislike the video.
My own fans to turn against me here. I mean, ask around. I've picked every single event winner. Always. Sunny, you're a real jerk. This is just bullshit.
However, it wasn't.
Hey, listen, we still need to know where those other 35 pizzas went. Where are those pizzas?
Only competition winners that hadn't been paid by Skeppy.
Wow, you are so good at this.
You can frame whatever you want, however you want, if you know how to do it.
Practice does make perfect. Here, could we maybe watch another video? One where the content's actually reliable? Of course! Oh no, I was kidding! Wow, these titles are getting really creative, but mine's still better. Okay, I'm sure there are a lot of great points in here, and I would be more than happy to sit down, go through them all, as I'm sure there are valid explanations. Hold on a second here. Why is he making the same exact style?
Man, Papa God, imagine being such a manipulative content creator to your fans. Yeah, true. I don't have to imagine it. Because I am.
Video on Dream? Does he just hate Skeppy and Dream? Are Skeppy and Dream just both bad people? Or
you guys are killing me in the chat today. Why are you watching content made for babies? Fuck if I know, brother.
Are they 2 convenient videos appealing to a generally wide audience? Or maybe it was just a coincidence. Now we need to go back and think. What did Sunny tell us?
I want to pull hotter bitches.
What is the intent here? You've got to take me just a little bit. I mean, who would have thought a liar could generate that juicy momentum on a channel? This almost seems too familiar. It's reminding me just a little bit too much of the start and rise of Sunny. Didn't he start the same way? Now listen, I'm not gonna lie. I think this guy's content is actually really good. Even though he has points that I disagree with, you don't have to become Sunny's little brother if you don't want to. I even want to try and give you some more momentum if I can. Everyone, please, if you don't mind, go check out this channel and subscribe. The content is good. I'm taking a chance here, but that's what my gut.
What the fuck's happening? Or is this another Rise and Fall? I'm so confused.
Telling me to do, and I really just pray that the content evolves in a good way.
Oh my god, PlayStation Purchase 5, Skeppy had said the F-slur.
Wow. I don't really know if it's good enough for you guys, but I don't really see the need to talk and go over this again.
Are you messing with me?
I addressed it. I'm sorry. And if my apology wasn't good enough for you, well then I'm double sorry. I apologized in the past. I took down videos. Everyone can beat me down for all my horrific mistakes.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I said some things that a lot of people in the gaming sphere said, and I'm really sorry about it. Okay. What do you want me to tell you? Like, it's happened, and like, you know, kids are immature, and they're still saying these things. People are still saying it, bro. So, I mean, like, yeah, you apologize and move on. a lot of times people tend to use a lot of different slurs, especially when they don't identify with a group, to other people who don't identify with a group. I know that sounds so weird, but there's like a lot of like a young, edgy, dumb fuck white kids going around and calling each other the N-word in Call of Duty because they think that the word's funny and it's just a very powerfully impact. They know it's an edgy, powerful word. They just don't understand exactly why. They don't understand the historical context because they're dumb fucks. And they've never, a lot of times, these kids have never really been called anything that's like super horrific and they can't identify with it. You know, the only thing that discounts that narrative is the fact that gamers are the most oppressed class in the world. So maybe, you know, gamer, that's actually a slur if you say it the wrong way. Like, you know how you could say, like, you could say, if you say something with a little stink, it can become racist. Like you can say, oh, that person's a Jew, you know, and that's not racist. But you say, oh, it's a Jew, you know what I mean? You say the Jew, you put it, that's racist, right? So the same thing with gamer. So you say it like they go, oh, hey, it's just a gamer, you know, it's like, oh, that's fine. Now I know a lot of you guys are thinking I'm going this direction. It's like, oh, you call him a gamer, right? But that actually sounds like a gay ma, like a gay mom, and that's weird and also hot if it's not your mom. What it is this is the slur here is a gamer. This is the slur for gamers, and you can't say it with an A because then it actually is a gay ma, right? So I guess, you know, all these three are very bigoted towards gamers. So in this instance, this is really the time where you should use the hard R is for gamers. Nobody else though. Okay, don't use it for anybody. Don't use that for anybody else. Okay.
But you, Sunny, what's your
Stop it! Stop calling me a gamer!
excuse?
Shut the fuck up.
Why did you say that word? But you're criticizing me?
Whoa! Wait, did he just expose SunnyV2 for saying the F slur? Where's the apology video, SunnyV2?
Your excuse.
Shut the fuck up.
Why did you—
Whoa! Maybe he just called him fatty, but that's also fatphobic.
you say that word? But you're criticizing me for it? That's not fair.
The internet was a totally different place back then. You can't pin someone for something that they said years ago. It's a totally different YouTube landscape, political landscape, comedy landscape, and on top of this, a totally different level of maturity for the individual.
I don't see why I need to go over topics I've addressed, so I'm not gonna do that. I've apologized for my mistakes. Have you, Sunny? Can we please just take a little break now?
We'll return after these messages.
I miss the old Skeppy. They always troll Skeppy. The eggshell Skeppy. The always L Skeppy. I hate the Skeppy.
Very intense. Now I'm not gonna lie. I used to watch all of Skeppy's videos, and he uploaded twice a day. It's very intense. I hate to say it, I miss the old Skeppy.
SunnyV2 is about to take his own advice and ignore all this. Yeah, he probably will. Yeah. He will most likely do that, and he's probably right about that. But I mean, especially since nobody's really gonna watch this video, okay. So again, like I said, like this is so over edited for what it should be. I'm not talking about his normal content, but when you're doing like a commentary thing, you should have been like you should have downplayed the editing, and you should have just spoke normally. And then, frankly, you should have like done like I said, very little editing, but not even like. Not just less exaggeratory editing, but just less editing in general, where you sit down and you go through specific points, or maybe just watch the whole video in its entirety so you can say like, hey, and then like propose information that you have for what he says. That's what you, but the problem is like, again, the people that the SunnyV2 video is targeted towards is people who don't know a fucking dick about shit about you. And then also people who may have used to watch you and they don't anymore. And so like using this, people aren't going to sit through this response. You know what I mean?
No, he's right. It makes sense. I just don't upload as much as I used to. I used to not single or double, but triple upload consistently. Wake up, record, sleep, repeat. That was my life, and I understand the feeling. I used to watch all your Dream SMP videos, and this video was a new editor. Completely different style. So I can't even lie. He's right. Maybe I have changed, or maybe it was just you. We can grow out of things. I have. It's normal. But I worked on this video all by myself, so hopefully it feels more like the old me. Yes, I could have possibly uploaded more, but I always felt like I was doing stuff. Even, you know, going outside sometimes. But if you guys want, I'll even go back to only me editing the videos. I made a poll to see if that has anything to do with it. But Sunny, I'm really mad at you. And not to mention, half of your video's content is about...
Oh, 86 or whatever his name is? What is it?
So Sunny decided he would attempt to have a blast to the past. Now, even though we already know Sunny is a great guy where you can get reliable content, there happened to be a few mistakes. Sunny was telling us a story that we all seem to know a bit too well. Skeppy and A6D are no longer friends. Sunny, I know you want to act like you know what happened. I get it. A few tweets and clips exist, so you can just create a narrative. But if I can, hopefully, I'd like to talk about a few things. I mean, I kind of lived it. And even though it isn't exactly fun for me to do this, I have a few things to say. There's a lot. I don't really know where to start. Maybe you know what it's like to lose a friend. Or a best friend. What about when it's in front of what feels like the whole world? Yes, it's exhausting. And eventually gets to the point where this guy makes a video about it. I reach my tipping point. Nothing about this is fun. And yes, I know, we choose to do the things we do, the things we say in front of everyone. And that's on us. But friends fight sometimes. It's normal. But this one just felt different. It felt like there was just no hope at times. And believe me, the internet amplified this by a million. At the time, I had a lot of built-up anger towards A6D. We fought, argued, I was upset at him for
Whoa, you can't just do that. I gotta read
At
what
the
it says.
time, I had a lot of built-up anger towards A6D. We fought, argued.
Boom, this part is actually pretty serious to me, but I literally couldn't find the right things to put on the screen, so please forgive me. Okay.
I was upset at him for things he would
I'm definitely crying right now.
do. And I know he was upset at me for things that I would do or say. It wasn't sunshine and rainbows. There was nothing pretty about it, and it just
Wait, it's young dumb kids being young dumb kids, so
kept getting worse until it eventually got to a point of just regrets. I felt so hurt and upset. At the time, I sat around and I thought, wow, look how much I tried to do for A6D, and he doesn't even appreciate me. That's obviously not true.
A60, not 86. Sorry.
I regret anything I put online about that matter. It was stupid. I wish I didn't make any tweets or stream, but connecting the dots now is easy. I know A6D has said or done things that he regrets too, but I won't speak for him. I just want to say that A6D is a great friend. He is extremely, extremely smart, but most of all, he's a good person. Bad is really sweet.
Well, you can't say that because he's French, so he's not a very good person.
And he would convince me that us three should hang out and just move on. But I have a really hard time getting over things sometimes, and that's my fault. I know.
Well, he did fuck you over pretty hard, not for nothing, but like what he said wasn't particularly horrible, but like the fact that he was in controversy that you, from what we've been displayed here, didn't you didn't like weigh in and be like, yeah, fuck him for saying these words. You just kind of like you let him deal with his own shit. That's how it works, bro. Like you're not like it's selfish if you're going through a cancellation to drag other people down with you. You know, it's like which is what so that's what the guy did. But also, like, the other person doesn't have to necessarily speak on it. I wonder why he just decided to shift the narrative. I guess maybe he wanted the other guy to be like, he's a good guy, blah, blah, blah. I don't really know. But like, yeah, he tried to drag you down and try to like deflect onto you so that you'd look worse. Because a lot of people do this. That happens is if they do something that's bad or they're called out for doing something that's bad, they'll go like, well, look at that guy. That guy's worse. So, I can't be that bad. That's kind of usually how it works.
And I didn't want to do that, but I still did. And I just want to say I'm sorry to Bad, to A6D, if I was awkward or hard to be around. But what really came out of all of this was nothing. It was a losing battle, and it was always a losing battle. I'm sorry to A6D and Bad Boy Halo for anything that they might still be mad at me for, or anything stupid I did. I was just so hurt. But I'm lucky. I get to live a happy ending. I talked to A6D quite often today. We even made some videos together. Now, this was all pretty recently, but I know things are only positive and upward from here. What were we talking about again? Oh, right. I mean, come on. Sunny, if you really wanted to get down to it, all the facts, I would have been more than happy to answer any questions. But I see perfectly now why you wouldn't do that to make this misleading masterpiece.
What is this? Okay. We still have not gotten the information on those other 35 pieces.
Good job.
Okay, well, that was an interesting bit of drama to address. Like I said, man, it does seem like Sunny might be shooting himself in his own foot. I'm just saying. I am just saying. He's getting to that point. But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. Let me go to the bathroom real quick, guys, and then we'll do some other content. Oh, let's see what we got here. Whoa, an alert. That's what we have here.
Shadraps just resubscribed for 7 months.
What's up, brothers?
Hey, Papa, would you compare the Actman situation to when Gideon ratioed Pokimane, then he went on Twitter and Instagram after the ban going off a little too much, then got permanently banned?
I don't think so. I don't think that I would. No. These are two. I think those are two very different videos.
I was just minding my business walking home, and this white lady called me the N-word and told me to go back to Africa.
Who the fuck is a monkey? Yo, I'm about to shoot you, yo. I'm about to shoot yo. Who's a monkey? Say it again. No.
What the hell? It was the part 1. Why'd you show the part 2? Okay. Oh, there is no part 1. I guess it got pulled down or something.
Say it again. Say it again. Please leave me alone. Stop. Who's a monkey? Yeah, say it again. Nobody, right? No. I'm about to boom you. I'm about to boom you. Please. Say I love black people. Say it. I love black people. Say you suck black.
So I
I'm sorry, that's funny. That last part was funny. Say you love black people. Say you love the Wiggler. Okay, interesting. It's just funny, dude. Based. When my wife was telling me something like this, where she's like, "Oh, it's so funny." At the end, he's like, "Say you love black people," and I've never seen the video. That was like 3 days ago. She said that. That's funny. Thank you for saying that to me. That's very funny. Okay, this is probably DMCA, so I can't really watch that. But okay. There's no way you can cosplay me. Okay, let's see. Let's cosplay the Angry Bird, bro. Wow. That's impressive. That's very impressive. Incredible. Can I go poo? Interrogation. Somebody sent this to me and said, "Is this you?" The monster in her bedroom is real. That sounds sussy. Sounds a little suspicious.
Ain't no way. You recorded this, watched it back, edited it, and posted this. How old?
Bro, I can't. I can't today. I just can't do it. Alright. Alright. That was nuts.
Now,
worst TikTok trends ever to exist. I don't know. I'm not in the mood. Okay. Guess who came back? Oh, okay. It's EDP, I'm assuming, yeah? Yeah, I've talked about this like last week. What's, yeah, I already knew that. I talked about it last week. Interestingly enough, I also... Listen, man, there's no hate here, but I will say, Some Ordinary Gamers is one of the ones who misreported the last TikTok that EDP was back on. I was like, what the fuck, bro? Like, it didn't do it on purpose, but all right, this was a while ago. It's not that big of a deal. Like, I'm just saying, because it's something I complained about, because there's a lot of larger content creators. They were signal boosting a fake EDP account. It was verifiably false for multiple reasons. The biggest reason is that there were constant shout-outs to other accounts that was like, follow my brother or my cousin. A lot of them were just old EDP video, or they were really low quality videos from EDP's Instagram. And so all signs pointed to it not being real. Then after they called it out, guess what happened? EDP actually came to TikTok on a real account, which I think is problematic because he's in the past used his platforms to, do really inappropriate things with young people. So like you can't have access to these large accounts. That's just, I don't think that's a contestable argument from people. I don't think anybody would contest that. But the problem is that the way that a lot of content creators work is that they'll just be like, well, I already talked about the topic of EDP's TikTok. Let's just move on. And so now they're not going to talk about the real one because then it would be too redundant for them. Maybe they just didn't realize it, but I remember, I don't know, this could be true or false. I'm not going to watch this, but somebody said that he made sure to say it was real in some capacity. That could just be bullshit because I heard this on Twitter. Somebody said to me on Twitter. But it is one of those interesting things, and again, like it's not really just supposed to be a fun news EDP thing. It should be more of like a, hey, like this guy's used his platform to go after kids. We should have to call it out. It's not about how many views we get, So I know I'm being speculative and all that, but I'm just saying, something to keep in mind, bro. I'm just saying. But it's good that it's being called out, of course.
Were the Angry Birds used as
Oh my god! Were the Angry Birds used as artillery in World War One? I don't know. Maybe.
I just want.
Yeah, I made a video on this a while ago about this guy who faked autism. I might watch it, but a long time ago, like a last year or so. It's crazy how things come back up. But he needed the money, bro. That's what he said. He needed that money.
Good morning.
Oh my god, with this peanut butter shit. Stop. Stop it. All right, dude. This Cal the Dragon shit has to end. All right, we have to.
Ooh,
oh my god, he sent it to me again. Oh, stop it! Stop doing that.
a couple weeks ago.
Fuck you if you don't like her. Jordan Peterson announced a Sports Illustrated controversy. Oh, Jordan Peterson responds to the Sports Illustrated controversy. Whoa! This is the type of content that I love you guys for. You send me this stuff, and then like I don't know what's going on. You guys deserve some of my money that I get, but you're never gonna get it. Thank you so much for sending this to me though, because I'm actually very curious about watching this. All right, so let's see. Now, a while back, Jordan Peterson, he saw the Sports Illustrated swimsuit cover of that girl. She was a little thick. She was cute, and he went on about this he went on a rant. He didn't just say like, oh, he went on an entire rant. Bro, I think I might have to find it. It was honestly kind of unhinged, in my opinion. I wonder if he removed it. But while we look for it, I'll tell you, because of that, he decided to disappear from Twitter, using it just as a platform to plug his stuff. Now, that's probably a good move fundamentally, because like this can get very, it can get toxic, but it's funny how he got ratioed pretty hard by everybody. There was really nobody who agreed with Jordan. And then he just disappeared. And to be honest with you, as I'm scrolling here, I don't even see it anymore. So it seems like the guy got so upset. Oh, wait, maybe it is still on here. Hold on. No, it's from what I can see, he completely removed the post. I cannot see it. I am scrolling on Twitter. Unless I am an idiot, which is he removed the tweet. I could be wrong, but from what I'm looking here, he removed his tweet. So I can't even tell you. But it was like really crazy. Although for you to be upset, how are you going to tell us that you don't care? You're basically saying, I don't care if you don't like it. How are you going to say that when you remove the post? That's so weird. All right, let's see what we got here. I'll look for the post elsewhere, though.
Oh, you tweeted something out that, I'm going to bring it up, that got a crazy amount of attention.
Can you say exactly what you said?
Did it?
Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition, I believe you're referring to.
Yes.
Yeah.
I tweeted out, sorry, not beautiful. Yeah, people weren't very happy with that.
And then everyone.
Hey, listen. That's not all right. That's not quite what he said. Okay. Looking at my old coverage of it. This was the girl. First of all, listen, beauty's subjective. She falls within our beauty standards, which are ever shifting, of course. I mean, she's hot, bro. I think that most people would consider her pretty attractive. I know that the tweet is, oh, sorry, not beautiful, and no amount of authoritarian tolerance is going to change that. So it went from like, I don't find this attractive to you're just pushing. there's a main bro. Okay. It went from, hey, I don't want to jerk off to this, to that you're trying to make me jerk off to this. You're trying to force me to literally jerk off to this. That's what his argument is. That's what you're saying. It's okay to not like it. Now, you don't have to always give your opinion on everything, but you know what? If you're going to, no problem. But why does this have to be some kind of like totalitarian push? Oh, wait, no amount of authoritarian tolerance. Sorry, that's what he said is going to change that. Same points. Why are you going crazy? Authoritarian, yeah. Why are you going crazy? Like, what the hell's happening? This begs the question: how does Jordan Peterson feel about people with Down syndrome being models? Would you say that too? Oh, she has Downs. Oh, well, you know what? I'm not going to jerk off to that. You're not beautiful, and no amount of authoritarian tolerance is going to change that. Like, where does it start and end? You know what I mean? It's fundamentally about representation, and not everything needs to be for you. That's really all it boils down to. Look at how much nicer my background looks now, though, compared to how it used to look. Isn't that crazy? Look at that. Incredible. So, Jordan, you know, you're not... I'm just saying, bro, you're going a little kooky.
Got upset.
Yes, they did. And then I left Twitter again, more or less, right?
Well, they got upset. You got upset. Nobody really got upset. Let's be honest here. No one got upset. Everybody was like, bro. And listen, Jordan is a smart guy. When you watch... Like, I watched a video on his commentary on, like, ADHD, and I thought it was phenomenal. When he talks about, like, psychology stuff, he's incredible. He really is a smart guy. Outside of that, you know, it's a little rough. But universally, everybody just like pointed and laughed. You just got pointed and laughed at because it was funny. Like, what are you talking about? You're going crazy.
Right after that, and everyone assumed that was why, and it wasn't.
Yes, it was. It was. What do you mean it wasn't why? What are you talking about? You got ratioed so hard you left.
No.
Oh my God.
I suppose in some sense it was. Because
this is his daughter.
Because what happened was an indication of the problem with Twitter. But I had been not reading Twitter.
Is his tweet still up? I couldn't find it, so that was my fault. Okay, well, continue.
Comments for about 3 weeks, although I had been tweeting through an intermediary, one of my staff members. So I'd email him a tweet, but not reading comments because I found that quite...
irksome?
Yeah.
Like you're associating with the
devil?
Sure, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, it was like sort of like standing in a public park where anybody, no matter who they were, could come up and yell at you to any size audience about anything they wanted, day or night.
And listen, I get that because that is true, but you did the same thing to her. You did the exact same thing. Like, they posted that, and you're yelling at that picture as well. So like, it's one of those interesting things where like you weigh in on the toxicity of Twitter by saying like, this is disgusting. I can't jerk off to this. And then you get upset when somebody goes like, you fucking idiot. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
And so I've been thinking that through. I'm going to write an article about what's wrong with Twitter and social media in general. But no, I looked at the Sports Illustrated cover, and they had a rather overweight young woman.
She wasn't that overweight.
Symmetrical. So nice facial features and so.
Nice, very symmetrical. Wait, hold on a second. Are you? Whoa, maybe he did jerk off to this, but he's ashamed of himself.
Overweight young woman, quite symmetrical.
Very symmetrical.
So nice facial features and
very nice facial features. Okay, Jordan. Okay.
So forth. With a very revealing swimsuit on the cover.
Yup. This sounds. Hey, hey, throwback to the old. What is that place that there used to be porn on there? Tumblr. This is a good Tumblr post that Jordan's writing here.
And I thought, no, like not in a personal way, but it's unbelievably manipulative for about 3 different reasons. The first is it's a very tawdry attempt to capitalize on cheap sales.
What? It's capitalism, no? Don't you defend capitalism? I'm very confused. Me too. I'm just, wait, what?
Yes. And I mean cheap in a specific way. Sports Illustrated hit the gold mine with their swimsuit cover.
Okay.
I suppose 20 years ago, whenever they established that. Because it was obviously it's a sports magazine, so it's about athletics. It's about athletic people. It's about athletic bodies. And they had a swimsuit issue, and it really was a big hit. And then it became
because people like to jerk off to it.
Kind of a cultural icon. And it's a very specific kind of cultural icon because it focuses on...
It's about guys jerking off to girls in swimsuits. Yeah, I get it. Fit girls? Are all the people that go in swimsuits? Wait, hold on. I don't know specifically about Sports Illustrated swimsuit, so I'm going to make a couple of weird assumptions. Okay, either it's about just attractive women going into swimsuit, into bathing suits, so guys to jerk off to, or it's about putting athletes into swimsuits, so that the girls in swimsuits for guys to jerk off to. I don't think that I've seen any. When I looked it up, are there guys in the Sports Illustrated swimsuit? Swimsuit cover. Okay, so I'm looking it up, and almost exclusively women. So fundamentally, I'm not going to show it on stream because, you know, that could get a little sussy. So fundamentally, this magazine is about taking, I'm assuming some of them are athletic women, and not all of them. I'm seeing like Nicki Minaj on here, or Meg Thee Stallion, whatever, and hypersexualizing them, despite the fact that they are, some of them at least, potentially good athletes. You're just putting them in swimsuits for guys to jerk off to. Just the fundamental that's weird. Like, that's already, you can argue problematic. Now, whatever. The girls are doing it, like, willingly. It is what it is. That's fine. I'm just saying. Okay? So now, that institution in and of itself is kind of sexist. And listen, I'm not going to say, listen, if I was a magazine guy, you know, I'd still be buying it. I'm just saying that, like, we could point out some of the negative aspects of society while also jerking off to them. But okay, so that's the problem with this institution, it sounds like. But your problem with the institution is that they're just like, what, virtue signaling? But that girl was attractive, but okay.
Very exceptional kind of high-end beauty. And so that beauty would involve symmetry and signals of youth, because that's part of beauty, sexual beauty.
You said that she was those
physical
things.
Beauty. Waist-to-hip ratio for women. But with Sports Illustrated, it's also...
Those are traditional ideas, but a lot of guys are attracted to thicker girls because those birthing hips. I mean, if you want to make the biological argument, I don't know what to tell you.
Highlighting a kind of athleticism in body type. And that's a very specific form of beauty. You have to be young. You have to be female, generally. You have to be extremely athletic. You have to be shapely in a very particular way. And that would be with a waist-to-hip ratio of 0.68.
Well, you don't have to be.
Because that's what's been established cross-culturally as ideal from the perspective of male sexual interest, let's say, but that's also associated with fertility. Yeah. And so it's a marker that has a biological basis. And so...
What was the rate? What was the hip ratio that he said? Like how? Okay.
Even if you're a very...
What he's saying is that there's observable trends across different societies of what women tend to look like as attractive, but that doesn't mean that they're going to be absolute in every culture. Like, I don't know. I don't understand. Because it's weird. It's a weird thing to say that, like, I just didn't like that she was fat. But who care? Why do you care? Oh, it wasn't the idea of what beauty should be. Okay. I think a lot of guys thought it was pretty good. They took a little bit of a risk. Maybe there was a virtue signal. Who cares? I think a lot of guys were. And wasn't she an athlete? Wasn't that girl an athlete too? I don't really remember, but okay.
Beautiful woman. You're hard pressed to be beautiful enough to be on the cover of Sports Illustrated for the swimsuit issue. Okay. And so it's a pinnacle achievement of sorts, and it's focused on a very idealized and specific form of beauty, and that's obviously exclusionary. It's obviously exclusionary. It excludes everyone, right? And it does that to highlight a kind of ideal, and that's a particular ideal of beauty. And there are some cultural boundaries around that. So you could say, well, it's a westernized form of beauty. It's like, and you can point to Rubens' paintings of more plump women and say, well, there's an exception. It's like, great. You think you're a genius for finding that exception. Good for you. You know the Rubens painting. Like, more power to you. But that...
Yeah, but then, like, that exception... So they were just utilizing that exception to show off a different body type. I genuinely speaking, okay, so from a genuine perspective, what Jordan Peterson is saying is that if you don't align with what Western beauty standards adhere to, or the general observed beauty standard, it shouldn't be a thing. The general observed beauty standard in a lot of, specifically in Western countries, is white. So anybody black shouldn't be on there. Anybody Hispanic shouldn't be on there. And you can't put anybody with Down syndrome on there. Thank you so much for the sub.
For 5 months.
Nobody can be on there with, like, because you're seeing more and more people with, like, Down syndrome being like models. You have a Victoria's Secret model that's just Down syndrome, which opens up an interesting question about whether I'm allowed to jerk off to that or not. But listen, if you really think about it, girls with Downs have big fat asses. But this is a conversation for another day. Okay. So, like, how far does this go? Because, you know, I don't. It just feels like you wouldn't care except for the fact that they're fat and you don't seem to like fat girls. That's it. That's really all it boils down to. Because when it came to any other identity, you wouldn't have an issue, even though it deviates from the norm of, like, what of our beauty standards. So I don't really understand. And beauty standards have changed. Like, back in the day, it used to be more attractive to be pale and fatter, because it meant that you had more money and you didn't have to work outside. Now it's changing because, like, I don't know, I guess it's considered more attractive to have, like, tanner skin. I think it's because, like, tanner skin, because I think it's like it shows off your, like, body a little better. That's why bodybuilder, that's the only thing I can hypothesize. I could be wrong. But so they're just changing. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a goddamn shit? The fuck is it? Just don't look at it. You don't have to care. It doesn't matter.
That doesn't mean anything at all about the universality of images of beauty. And
you're really overthinking softcore porn at this point.
So the cover bothered me a lot because it was a cheap manipulation of something that had been working very well for Sports Illustrated.
It seems like this worked just fine for them. Who cares?
There's also an insistence that all of a sudden this non-athletic body type is as beautiful as the standard swimsuit model for Sports Illustrated.
I don't think anybody got that at all. I think most people are like, oh, she's kind of hot. She's fine. Like, I don't think anybody, even if people didn't think she was attractive, nobody like shit themselves and was like, you're forcing this in my face? Now, maybe you'd have that argument if you had like a 600-pound woman on there. I don't know. But we're dealing with a woman that was like slightly overweight. Probably still like healthy because she's not like overweight like me. That would be considered unhealthy. I'm just saying.
And it's not. It's not as athletic, and it's not as healthy, and that's that. And it's also...
Well, my question is, it's like, what was she an athlete, though? Was she an athlete? What was her name? Sports Illustrated model responds to the criticism. Okay, so plus size model Yumi New responded to it. Is she an athlete or is she just a model? I think that she's just a model. Okay. I guess she's just a model. Looks like she actually works out too. Okay. I wonder what she had said. Oh, thanks for loading an advertisement. We'll check back in with you later. Thanks.
So not arbitrary. And so the whole thing is a lie. And then it's a lie.
It's a little weird when you put an ad over like someone else talking. It's not even your video, but whatever. It is what it is. Okay.
That's a manipulation of that young woman. Now, she partakes in that because she participates in it. But
how is she being manipulated? What the fuck?
But still, they're not on her side. They're exploiting her.
Well, all capitalism is exploitation, okay, George? I mean, I don't really believe that, but what do you mean? They're all mutually benefiting. That's how these interactions work. You'd have to maintain this argument across all Sports Illustrated models. Like, this is insane. Like, this is where Jordan Peterson, this is why people think Jordan Peterson is a joke, because he's insane with some of his perspectives.
Why you girls bother at this point? Like, keep it up.
Oh, it's just a response with it's just a TikTok? Oh, her response is to make a TikTok trend. Wow, boring. Thank you.
As far as I'm concerned. And she may be participating in that exploitation, but they're still exploiting her. So don't pull any moral stunts on me because you're irritated about my opinion about the Sports Illustrated cover when it's bloody clear to anybody with eyes that that was manipulative in 20 different ways.
Bro, people clown on this guy and he's coming up with this like deluded conspiracy theory. This is insane.
And I'm also not...
he's not saying it for clout. Here's why Jordan Peterson is saying that. He has a very particular way that he operates in his train of thought that has a lot to do with like a lot of different variables and elements when it comes, because he does psychology. And he's very intelligent when it comes to that. And that's why he has like these really deep connections when it comes to like those types of things. But then you kind of retract and all of a sudden you mix that in with different social narratives. And he's also got some PTSD, it seems, or, frustrations with the way that he's been portrayed before when he gives his opinion that are social and that are not within the psychology sphere. And now he has this like weird biased narrative, and like he just feels like every single thing he sees, he puts these connections together that don't really make sense, and he has an absolute fucking meltdown.
Not willing to sacrifice these ideals for inclusiveness. It's like, no, not everyone's a genius. No, not everyone's Picasso. No, not everyone's young and healthy. And no, not everyone is a Sports Illustrated swimsuit model, period. And fuck you if you...
Why? Who cares?
You don't like it.
He's an angry old man. Yeah, no, absolutely.
So that's basically what I thought about that. I certainly didn't think it would...
Could you, because this is his daughter, so could you imagine sitting across from your daughter telling her that you really just hated something so much because you couldn't jerk off to it? Yeah, so I came across this picture on Sports Illustrated, and I used to love it. I would sit down in my bathroom and fucking beat my shit all the time. And now this girl is fat, and I can't jerk off. She's like, thanks, Dad. I really thank you so much.
would cause as much trouble as it did. You know, when people were on my case for being mean, it's like, yeah, I know, I'm always mean because
nobody gave a nobody said it was mean. I didn't see that. Everybody was just clowning on you and like laughing at you. I'm sorry, but
you know, that's
well, also like life is hard and like life is mean, right? And it's hard for people.
Very well stated. Thank you.
First of all, I have great sympathy for anybody overweight because of the health struggles I went through. And you lost a whole bunch of weight. It's not like being overweight's fun, right?
No.
That's a whole other problem to get into with.
Well, so this is a whole conversation about what would we consider overweight from a negative health standpoint? Because you can be overweight and still healthy. If I showed you, and on top of that, you wouldn't really criticize an overweight athlete. So if I pulled up like Big Z, like Zenduras Saviquez, I think that's how you say his name. This guy, huge guy when he was world's strongest man, you probably wouldn't really criticize him too much. You'd be like, he's an athlete, and like, yeah, his weight is actually relevant to the athletic competition. That being said, you can be overweight and still kind of healthy. She doesn't look like she's in an area where she's like super, like where she would have any like significant health problems. Now, I'm not saying that being fat doesn't like, generally is good. It's not. I have health problems and I'm fat, but I'm quite past the point that she's at. And like, you know, it's not uncommon for people who are overweight to work out a bit too. And so she's probably not unhealthy in any capacity. The majority of your unhealthiness comes from your diet, and your diet is associated with your weight. Because a lot of times when people are like very overweight, it's because they're not eating food that is like micronutrients dense. They're eating a lot of just like fast food, processed foods. They're not eating a lot of like their micronutrients. They're not getting a lot of their fiber in their diet, and so they're overeating, right? And so like generally speaking, like yeah, you can be fat and still healthy. It just there's a degree of fatness, and your diet has like an exponential amount to do with it, as well as like your level of exercise, right? And so like she's not on just because she is fatter than skinny people doesn't mean that she would be considered like health wise fat. And what's interesting is like, why don't you just say like, I think they're glorifying fat bodies? Okay, we can operate from there. Instead, you have this like insane pseudo-intellectual take on it, which is bizarre.
I think people have such an issue losing weight that society
terrible.
has said, you know what, it's fine because you've had so much trouble that it's probably your genetics.
Yeah.
So
well,
you might.
There's truth in that. Like when I look at someone who's obese on the street, I think, oh, that's too bad. Like that's too bad. I don't think
thanks, Jordan.
Obese pig eats too much, has no self-control. I don't think that. I think bad mismatch between genetic proclivity and appalling diet. And
yeah, maybe that's probably part of it. I think a lot of it is like social norms now. Back in the day, it was like normal for people to get up and work and move around a lot. Now people do a lot of working from home. Things have gotten easier because of technology, and things are less safe outside, or rather that's our interpretation because what we're being fed by like the media. So like, yeah, we have a general reduction in activity. Computers are very popular, so people would tend to be like, when you were bored back in the day, you'd have to go do something. Now you're bored, you just go to your phone and you play a fucking dumb game, or you go on social media and you get addicted to that, and then that causes a whole other bunch of problems, and then people have declining mental health, probably in part or a large part of it because of the social media apps. And then you get depressed, and then what do? You cope by eating, because there's a lot of different coping mechanisms. A lot of people who are fat use food to cope. So there's a lot of different aspects here. There's like a lot of different change that you go through. Like, okay, well, why is somebody fat? For sure. But again, I wouldn't say that she's like unhealthy in any real capacity.
And the appalling diet is basically, we're not going to get into this, but basically carbohydrate heavy and sugar loaded. And fair enough, we tried hard, the whole world, to make calories cheap. Mm-hmm. And we did that. And so no one's starving, and great. But now
oh my God, no one's starving? I didn't even know that we ended world hunger. Holy shit, I thought it would cost $30 billion. But apparently because you can go up the street to a McDonald's and get the food off the dollar menu, that means that everybody in the world is okay.
We have an obesity problem, and it's a major problem. And I'm not going to pretend that it's okay. It's not okay. That doesn't mean I don't have sympathy for it. And I'm not willing to sacrifice any ideals for this idiot inclusiveness. I'm done with that. And so should everyone else be. And I think most people are.
I think most people didn't give a shit.
And they look at that cover and they know it's manipulative and a lie in a deep sense.
Incredible. I mean, honestly, Jordan, you took the words right out of my mouth and put it right up my ass. Incredible. That's just insane to me. White guy impression. Sure. Not bad. You know what's funny about this clip, though, is right after he did a white guy impression, the audience did a black guy impression. Did you hear it?
And I don't know what else to do.
I will find the real Kim Kardashian on TikTok one day. Okay. Is this the whole video? Okay. I figured there was like more information to this this story here. But okay. Guess who came back? Yeah, I know. I already know about that. You sent it multiple times. Thank you so much. Sent it to me like 8 times. Really helpful. Thank you. What is Drew Afuelo hiding? Why is there so much Drew Afuelo content lately from Dustin Daly? Why is there so? I guess she's blowing up now.
There's so much drama going on right now.
Okay.
Hey, what is up?
Do I know who this person is? I feel like I've seen them on Twitter.
Up on my social climate friends is Dustin, and I'm back with another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about Drew Afuelo.
You know what? I'm gonna put this in a potential watch later thing, only because we just talked about Drew yesterday, and I just don't feel like we're talking about Drew or the same topic necessarily every day, especially since it's not even like a crazy. Maybe I'll watch it tomorrow or something. I think it would just be, I don't know. I just don't want to watch the same thing like over and over and over. You know what I mean? I don't want to be a dead horse here. Maybe tomorrow, day after that. Maybe.
Do you believe in animals' rights?
Yes. I saw that. I did see that. I saw this on TikTok. But you know what I'm saying? Just
so this is not a traffic stop. You just
how did you know that the cop gets owned in under a minute? Oh, dude, I don't care. I hate videos like this because like most of the time it's some asshole white guy usually going around antagonizing police officers when they're just trying to like do their jobs. So I don't give a fuck.
Elathino Mad tipped
Hey, thank you so much.
$3.33. Show elbows.
What does that mean? Show elbows? Like the inside of my elbow?
I'm over here stroking my dick.
Incredible. Thank you so much. You guys are crazy.
So there are 7 levels of being high that you may experience.
Well, I almost died being high once. Okay, do you know that? I greened out and I almost died. All right, and it triggers me every single day that I think about it. I get physically ill when I think about marijuana now. That's how it really comes up. I've seen this guy before.
Last night Do you play Roblox? Last night I used my Nintendo Switch to hack into the Roblox mainframe. Literally. Let's just say I don't have to worry about Robux for a while. Sure.
Okay, very cool. This is a really good video. Whoa, that's my video, and it is a really good video. You should go watch it. It's called "Papa Guy Reacts to Why We Need Racism from a Furry." It was a fun time, guys. It was a real fun time.
I'm a bad boy rebel that can't be tamed.
Okay.
And some women see that and they go, "Ugh, challenge, no thank you." I'm a bad.
True.
Now TikTok is what we call it.
Wow, grandma's hot. All right. Here's what I actually came on here to do. This is very important. Okay. Now, from what I've seen, Ben Shapiro has not done a video on this topic, which is terrible because we need Ben Shapiro's opinion on this topic. We just do. But we don't have it. And here's what it is. Apparently, Fox News ran an ad that wasn't anti-trans. And now everybody's melting down. So apparently it's called like Raising Ryland, a SoCal transgender teen's journey. Of course, it's in California. And so like Matt Walsh and even Ben Shapiro, they are very upset. He says this would be an absolute despicable, insane lunacy if I saw it on CNN or MSNBC. To see it on Fox News is a complete betrayal of anything remotely resembling conservatism or decency. Okay, so that's crazy. Let's see what it has. Let's watch it before we give our opinions because it looks like a young person, and I can understand why people will be upset. Let's see.
Only walking down the street, you wouldn't think anything different.
14-year-old Ryland Whittington is a typical Southern California teenager.
Okay.
And
Whoa,
the Whittingtons,
they play frisbee? That's not typical. Who goes outside anymore? There's definitely something wrong with this person.
along with mom Hillary, dad
Okay.
Jeff, and sister Brinley, are a typical family.
It's a white family. It's always the white families, guys. Crazy.
The only difference, though, in Ryland's eyes, is what this family can mean to the tens of thousands of kids under 18 who identify as transgender.
We put our story out there so people could see that like there's another family out there that is going through what we're going through, or there's another family who's proud of who they are.
Before Rylan could even speak, he managed to tell his parents
they're correctly gendering this person as well. This is triggering.
that he is a boy.
I could just see it. It wasn't him trying to be a brat. It was like painful. It was truly painful for him to have to wear feminine clothing and for us constantly telling him that you're a girl.
And unlike some trans kids, when Rylan came out at age 5 a few years later, he had the full support of his parents.
Initially, there was some pushback from us in trying to understand this.
Well, that makes sense. There should always be pushback. If your kid at 5 comes out as trans, if you're not pushing back, then you're a problem. Because I don't know, dude, 5 is so young. Holy moly. I don't know, man. This is uncomfortable. That's so young. See, this is the thing, though, is that what news is supposed to do is supposed to present a story in like an unbiased nature. So the story here is that this is their family communicating their experience, and then we individually have a conversation about it and we think about it, right? That's what journalism is supposed to be. An unbiased or fairly unbiased presentation of news. So Fox News not having a meltdown over this segment, okay, that's their job. They're not like, I just want you guys to know you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to be like, this is horrible. Like, you're supposed to be like, hey, here's what happened. Now, I'm not saying you can't have an opinion on it. I'm just saying that like Fox News presenting this information in an unbiased manner, okay, and then we have a conversation about it. I'm uncomfortable. I would actually, it's an interesting thing to explore because I feel like 5 is really young to actually figure out your identity. I understand like maybe a kid that's like 10 would be able to like understand that their gender identity or whatever, but I feel like 5 is so young. So, you know, I just feel that's crazy.
We were confused like most people are. We thought that gender and sexuality were the same thing. It took us a while to figure out that those two things are different and that children actually do recognize their gender identity very young. Some of them, not all.
Maybe.
But I
don't know. The one thing I will give them credit for is the fact that they're not like, they were like, when it first happened, we didn't affirm it too hard because you shouldn't. I think the biggest problem for me is when people are like, yep, you're trans, and they just start leaning into it. At least here, they have an argument to say like, yeah, when it first happened, we didn't lean into it because we thought it was bullshit. And then we kind of were like, okay, it seems like it's not bullshit. We went through the correct, because that means you're going to go through the correct steps. We went to a therapist, et cetera, et cetera. It's like, okay, maybe this is genuine. I have a hard time believing it. But okay, that they went through what you would consider like the correct way to go through it. Like your kid says that they're trans, and then you go to a therapist, and then you're skeptical, of course, because why would you want your kid to be trans? You wouldn't want them to be trans. And if you over-affirm them when they're just going through like a weird phase, that could be a problem. And maybe they still did that, but I don't really know. But they didn't over-affirm it. It doesn't seem like it, but okay.
Listen to Rylan and to Hillary's conservative faith.
For me, it's just a deep spiritual belief that you believe in God and
I think at 5, pushback is healthy, but forcing it may lead to better results. Yeah, exactly what I'm saying. Like, I think 5 is still too early regardless, but like, I think that, I don't know, it makes, the pushback is, I feel like it's very necessary for like a young kid so that you're making sure that they're not just like picking something up off the street. To just make sure that it's like real and not over-affirm it. Be like, okay, let's explore what this means to you and kind of move forward from that.
created us the way he wanted us.
But all we can really say is that, like, I guess their family knows best. I don't really know. You know, at the end of the day, hey, worst case scenario, the kid turns out terrible. Less competition for my kid.
Well, then yes, he created Rylan just the way he is.
And they listened to families. They met in support groups.
There was a father who was sitting across the table. He says, you have no idea how lucky you are to be here, which kind of took me back. I didn't at that point consider myself lucky to be there. And he said, you know, our child had displayed this gender dysphoria or this gender misalignment at the same age that Rylan has. And we didn't listen and we pushed back.
That pushback.
You know what's interesting? I will check this out. Follow me here, okay? So this is a trans boy. This is a boy, but they're a biological girl. What if they're just playing the long game? And I know you're thinking, what does that mean, Papa God? Think about it like this. What if they've decided, you know what? I'm going to pretend to be trans. And I'm going to go through more of a male puberty so that I develop with more masculine, right? And then I will detransition once I finish puberty. Let's say I'm at around 20 years old, right? So now I'm a biological girl, but I still have all the physical, or a lot more physical advantages, right? Follow me here. And they start playing sports. They would dominate. Hey, listen, it's not true or possible, but it's fun to think It's fun to sometimes it's just fun to be a little transphobic. Very based. Very based, am I right, guys?
Back led that child to turn to self-harm as a teenager.
40% of LGBTQ youth reported engaging in self-harm in the past 12 months, including 6% transgender and non-binary youth. Interesting. It's just so weird because transgender and non-binary, I feel like there's so many kids identifying as non-binary when they like, I just feel like there's a lot of people who are just like trans trending or people who are misdiagnosing themselves with other body image issues. I'm not saying all of them, I'm just saying that like some of them, and like, I'm non-binary now. But like it happens all the time. I'm just saying, like I have a detransition friend. They had like an issue with like chronic depression and anxiety, and then they got diagnosed as gender dysphoria, and then they detransitioned because it was bullshit. You know what I mean? Like people do this shit all the time. I'm just saying.
Which 60% of trans and non-binary kids engage in, according to the Trevor Project. More than 50% consider suicide.
That for me was the turning point. I didn't want to see Ryland go through that.
I'd rather have a living son than a dead daughter. I guarantee that if we had pushed back and done what a lot of parents do, I don't think that we would have either one of the kids that you see before you here today.
How does his sister feel about that, I wonder?
Allowing him to live authentically and true to himself and be who he really feels like he is. When you get to know Ryland, you see just how proud and confident he is of himself.
Ryland's story got international attention in 2014 when a family YouTube video went viral. And Hillary has since written a book called Raising Ryland.
See, that's where it gets weird because like some people would be like, "Oh, well, what you're trying to capitalize off your kid's identity." Kinda. I mean, it's a little weird because I mean, okay, so your kid, let's say your kid's trans. Okay, I get it. But by you capitalizing off it this way, all you're doing is like increasing the hate against the kid. But I guess also you can make an argument that they're selling a book that helps other parents maybe deal with the struggle. But okay.
I never thought that I would be known for this like as well as I am, but really it's just a small part of who I am.
He just brushed things off his shoulders like it's fine. He moves on in his life and he's just kind of think everything we've been through, he's just like learned to do that and he's really good at it. I could never do that.
I regret asking her opinion because she is so fucking boring. I'm just kidding. I'm just fucking around, bro.
The Whittingtons believe sharing their story could make a lasting difference in another child's life, something they learned from that support group father nearly a decade ago.
Dude, these are like action shots of them for the camera. It's so cringe.
I'm just here to make the ride smoother for others. You might be struggling right now, but we believe in you. This family, we might not know you, we might not know where you live, but you know, we understand you and we believe in you.
What extraordinary courage displayed by Ryland.
Oh no, they said that the kid had courage. This is it. Fox News, you can't say that.
His sister Brinley, father Jeff, and mom Hillary. I want to thank the Whittington family for speaking to us. It's not easy, particularly at a time when transgender issues have been politicized. People are afraid of what they do not understand, Dana. This family hopes their story
shit, they actually took a stance for it.
will lead to more understanding, more acceptance, and ultimately more
come. Wow, Fox News based. Hold on. That's very based here. Okay, so Fox News took like a stand like affirming it. So then we have Matt Walsh saying, I have appeared on Fox many times. I appreciate the platform they've given me. If what I'm about to say ruins that relationship, so be it. We have to call this evil lunacy out where we see, especially on our own side. Today, Fox ran a long segment for Pride Month celebrating a trans kid who came out, this was like 4 minutes, but okay. As a boy at the age of 5, the piece did not simply report on the controversies surrounding child transitioning, it outright promotes the practice. The reporter says that the child announced a new gender, as a toddler. Does Fox wants to believe that babies can choose their gender? This is the most extreme, radical, dangerous form of gender ideology, and it's being promoted by Fox. I just want you guys to know that this is the thing. Trans kids exist. I just think it's difficult to figure out which ones are actually trans, and I think that it's also difficult to communicate to a child that not going through like their biological puberty could cause them to be permanently infertile. And there's still a lot of conversation and nuance to have with this. But there are trans kids. Every person that's actually trans, when they get older, they're like, yeah, I knew when I was a kid. My problem is like making sure that we correctly diagnose that so we don't misdiagnose some other particular mental health issue and basically like fucking up a kid's for the rest of their life. I'm not for over affirmation. I think that we have to come up with like a good way to go through like a pipeline that helps these kids be happy, because they do exist, and that really lends to the idea that there's most likely like a biological factor or a womb factor. I'm sure that there can be also be social factors, but that's the thing. They exist, and it's a conversation about like some of these kids can be very upset. It's a hard conversation to have, but not everything can be this deep-seated conspiracy theory that we're trying to destroy children. That family seemed pretty balanced. I don't know the specifics. I'm still uncomfortable. But like, but like this whole meltdown is crazy. These trans people exist whether you like it or not. And like, that's the reality. That's the reality we live with. That's the objective truth that we live, where trans people exist. You're uncomfortable with it. And I know that Matt Walsh gets everybody with what is a woman? The question doesn't start there. The question starts, why are there trans people? That's where the question needs to start. And that's where you operate from. Because if you don't think trans people can exist, then there's no point in asking what is a woman, because you're not even at that step. That's like step number 5. Step number 1, are trans people valid? Do they exist? Yeah, they do. There are people who have so much dysphoria associated with their gender identity not matching their biological sex that they kill themselves. That's just an absolute reality. And transitioning helps them not do that. When we look at these issues from a society, and it used to be labeled a mental disorder, which I don't think is unfair. Unfortunately, there are people like conservatives who say it's mental disorder to brush off the issue and criticize people rather than to actually engage, because other mental disorders, we engage with them to try to help people. But I think either way, there's a mental, we'll call it incongruence here. The way that we operate in treating anything that would be considered incongruent from like the normal societal standard is, how do we get that person to operate within society in their most comfortable, best way possible, right? And so look at any mental incongruence. ADHD, what do? You do some kind of counseling, you do some kind of medication, and then like that's how you operate with that. You do the same thing with like somebody with autism. And so you treat them though based on what the best probability of success is to help them integrate into society. With trans people, that best probability of success is transitioning, is like mental health counseling, and transitioning to a point that person needs to, which is independent of everybody else. Now, I know a lot of people heard that whole thing, probably tuned out if you disagreed, but you're probably shouting, yeah, but the suicide attempt rate stays the same. Well, the problem there is that what you need to understand is that you haven't defined what transitioning means when it comes to those statistics saying, well, the rate of suicide remains the same after they transition, because what transitioning means is very different depending on the person, and most people don't have access to truly finishing the transition the way that they would make them comfortable. For instance, you know what's considered transitioning? Social transitioning. Just like dressing, let's just say a trans boy, dressing more as a boy, like dressing as a boy more, identifying with a boy name, etc., or trans man, we'll say. Identifying, dressing like that. Then there's hormone treatment. Then there's feminization or masculinization treatment, voice box treatments. There's hair implant treatments. And these things are more expensive for trans women specifically. Okay. It's easier to feminize or masculinize a feminine body than it is to feminize a masculine body. These things cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, and like maybe 1 or 2% of people who transition actually get to the point of like a truly happy transition. Now, there is a conversation to have about potentially having unrealistic expectations, but then there's also a huge conversation about the lack of access to gender affirming care, and that's why these people, or people with gender dysphoria, can sometimes like or have like similar rates of suicidality even when they start to transition, because they don't have the access to the treatment that they would need to make them happy, right? And so the reality is this is the best treatment. And then we look at, what do we lose as a society? Nothing. You're a little more confused when you look at an attractive girl that might have used to been a guy. And I get it. You shouldn't have to engage with a trans person, but I get that. But we don't really lose anything as a society with the reality of the situation. Strong men still exist and strong women still exist, right? I would argue more strong women exist than they used to exist. And there's still a good amount of strong men that can handle society in the way that you feel it needs to be handled. That's why Western countries, despite the fact that they are the most comfortable countries, are objectively the best higher standard countries and have the most powerful militaries in the entire world. So it seems like not having enough strong men is doing just fine. In other countries like Russia and China, where people are incredibly oppressed, they're not exactly that strong because they don't have access to the same resources that we do, which makes you weak. I just want you to know that these weird ideological things that you affirm onto other countries that abuse their people, they don't exactly manifest in strong men just because they hate gay people and trans people. Those things don't just instantaneously happen, okay, whether you're comfortable with that or not. Right, and this is kind of the world we live in now. A lot of conservatives bring up, well, oh, so pedophiles, that's a mental disorder, so we let them fuck kids? No, because you know what we lose in society? Kids. They shouldn't be getting raped. Okay, you know that, but you're just making that parallel because you're being homophobic and transphobic. That's the reality of the situation. Those are disanalogous. You can't. That's going to hurt people in society if you allow pedophiles to fuck kids. It's not going to hurt people in society if you allow trans people to transition to a point that would make them happy and comfortable. We don't lose anything in society when we let trans people transition. We do if we lean into allow pedophiles to fuck kids. Okay? So those things are disanalogous. It's about the best pathway of success to make somebody, allow somebody to integrate into society in a comfortable way without sacrificing anything in society. That's what it really boils down to. I gotta fucking qualify everything I say. Turn on dark mode. Shut up. Okay, I'm white. That's internet blackface, bro. Okay, that poor kid is 14 now with permanently altered body, condemned to live forever and identify with an identity imposed as a small child. It's horrifying, evil, and sick, and what it is what Fox chose to promote. But it also, but you can make that argument if they went through their female puberty, then they might have lived with a body that they would hate for the rest of their lives as well. Just letting you know. But okay, I know for a fact that many people at Fox do not approve of this and never would have agreed to air a radical left trans propaganda, but Fox reporter Brian Lennis chose to do the story, and someone at Fox chose to put it on the air. Everyone involved should be fired immediately. Oof, that sounds like cancel culture. Okay. Somebody just put this tweet. I would kill every ape in the world to save one human because humans are more important. This is a very simple concept, folks. Would you suck every ape's dick to save one human? Okay. Interesting. Incredible. Okay. And let's see what Ben Shapiro has. You know, I can't tell the difference between the two because now they're promoting the movie so hard that I have no idea. This would be... Okay, we already read that one. Every element of this video is propagandistic, dangerous garbage. The report states that this biological female was choosing her gender before she could speak. This is madness. So kids start speaking at 12 months. I'm just saying, kids start speaking at 12 months. They chose their gender at 5. So what you're saying is factually inaccurate, Ben. I'm so sorry. Anyway, the reporter further states that Ryland's parents began social transitioning at the age of 5. This is child abuse. The vast majority of children who display symptoms of dysphoria desist over time. That could be possible. So here's a couple of issues. First of all, I would like to see a source for that. Second of all, the vast majority of children who display signs of gender dysphoria is different from the vast majority of children who have gender dysphoria. There's a difference between the two. And again, they could have been misdiagnosed. I'm just saying. There's a difference between somebody displaying signs of something versus somebody having something. Okay, if you display signs of ADHD, you don't have ADHD. If you have ADHD, you have ADHD. Do you understand what I'm saying? Look, I look like an Italian now. So this isn't really like directly analogous, like these things that you're saying. The report is absolute horrifying propaganda. We've got mom citing her Christian faith to justify the perversion of biological identity. We've got the radical gender theory activist Trevor Protect Stats claiming that childhood transition is the only way to prevent suicide. What's the alternative? Well, no. That's a miss. Okay, so again, like we have a like a dishonest argument. So what Ben Shapiro is saying here is we've got the radical gender theorist Trevor Project statistics claiming that childhood transition is the only way to prevent suicide. So that's not what's being said. What's being said is it'll reduce suicidality if you're a kid with gender dysphoria transitioning. Not saying that it'll reduce childhood suicidality if you transition. I know that those are weird. I know that sounds like it's the same, but it's not the same. What he's doing is he's defining, like, okay, somebody is we'll just say this. So this is like an option for a lot of kids that they want to take their own life. And he's saying that, like, oh, one option is to transition, but that's not what's being said. What you would do is say, like, well, why do you feel this way? And then you would work from there. So if it's because you have gender dysphoria, yeah, maybe transitioning would be it. Or maybe you have other body image issues. We'll say body image issues here, and you would deal with those as well. There could be different psychological problems, and one of those problems would be having gender dysphoria. The way that he presents the information is as if people are just saying transition to get rid of your thoughts of self-harm, but what they're actually saying is that this having gender dysphoria would be a aspect or would be a factor in people with gender dysphoria to causing self-harm, and thus transitioning would reduce that suicidality. Fuck, I'm sorry. The presentation of information is dishonest. Okay. I'd rather have a living son than a dead daughter. It's again propaganda since sloganeering. There is no credible evidence that transition alleviates suicidal ideation among children who identify as LGBTQ. Okay, fuck. I already talked about this. About how like there's a point of transitioning where people like that people aren't able to get to, but the problem is again what he's doing is he's saying that there's no evidence that says that it alleviates suicide ideation if you there's no evidence that transition will resolve those problems if for people who identify as LGBTQ. Only one part of LGBT, so this isn't somebody who's trans, a lesbian, LG, gay people aren't trans, bisexual people aren't trans. This, you know, trans people are trans, right? And this is pretty much the only thing that would be, I would consider like generally trans, is the trans part of LGBT. Queer is like, I think Q is like queer or questioning. So it doesn't matter, like, no, transitioning wouldn't help lesbian, gay, bisexual, or queer people, but, well, it could if their trans kid was gay, but these are kind of different things. You could even argue that anything right of like the fucking B is really is quite different to an extent, but, it could help these kids if it's properly diagnosed. I'm not saying it always is, but yeah, again, like kind of a dishonest interpretation from Ben Shapiro. Fuck. Okay. Wow, this is like crazy. We've got a dad talking about living authentically by hormonally transitioning a biological female child transition that if continued will result in biological sterilization and or breast and genital mutilation surgery. Of course, those are definitely, I've talked about that before. Absolutely. This is a situation where there's always going to be a negative. No solution is 100% positive. You know, you're going to have some negatives with it. And it's, again, I don't know if a kid is old enough to make that decision, which could be a problem, but it doesn't mean that they're not, don't have gender dysphoria. Living authentically, saying like, well, you shouldn't hormonally transition. If you fundamentally go with that, I mean, you could probably make arguments that if like your kid had low testosterone and you gave them more testosterone, well, that's not living authentically because you're introducing an outside source. The idea is that you're diagnosing some kind of a mental condition that people were most likely born with in some capacity. I don't think that that's crazy to say. And I say like to an extent it's similar to intersex, not body-wise, but like mind-wise. So it's like intersex for your mind. It's some kind of an incongruence. And while we treat people with intersex traits by the parents usually choosing a gender, in this case, you can't really do that or because you literally can't do that because you have to wait for your kid to get old enough to express it because there's no like biological marker of somebody that I know of being transgender. Fuck, this is so much here. This family's been famous in 2014 when Ryland, now 14, was 6. Mom wrote a book about her own heroism. This isn't about the children. This is about pushing a gender theory and victimizing small children. I don't know what the book is about. I did speculate that it could be some harmful in some capacity, but I guarantee you Ben didn't read it either. So like that portrayal of heroism isn't necessarily verifiable. And this is happening on Fox News, where the family is praised for its extraordinary courage in the face of the politicization of transgender issues. Fox News used to be like a really credible program, and you know, just because they show something that's not fully like super conservative doesn't mean it's a bad news source. It's providing additional information for us to have conversations about. People are afraid of what they do not understand. That's 100% correct. That's where like almost every form. That's where every form of bigotry comes from. The reporter says, but we do understand the agenda. We understand that this is a propaganda on behalf of the destruction of children, and it's vile. That doesn't make any sense. I don't even know what foundation is you're thinking the left is trying to kill children with this. That's just silly. You could think that people are being wrong, but the problem with this argument from Ben Shapiro and Matt Walsh is that it's radicalized. It's okay to disagree that trans people exist, and it's okay so that you can go and have conversations with that and say, I don't agree with it for this reason, this reason, this reason, this reason, this reason. It is an absolute conspiracy theory to say that there is an LGBT, this is what they're effectively saying, is that there's an LGBTQ agenda to try to destroy children. Why would that exist? It doesn't make any sense. Like, there's literally no basis for this conspiracy theory. You can disagree with trans people and like chat about it. I think it's fantastic. Everybody should talk about these things so that they can understand more and, you know, push their ideas and make sure it doesn't go too far in one direction. But this is a conspiracy theory to say that there's some kind of like deep-seated propaganda to destroy children. It doesn't make sense. Lastly, Fox News is too important to conservatives to be weaponized on behalf of the most radical leftist propaganda imaginable. Again, like, I don't know what to tell you. Fox News greenlit it. This a very conservative news organization, and you're trying to make it seem like the left has invaded it. It's very conspiracyistic propaganda that aims directly at the mental and physical health of children. They should terminate whoever is responsible for this agaprop abomination. Again, now you're calling for cancel culture of people that you disagree with. I know that you're going to morally load it and say like, yeah, but we're protecting children. But the reality is that you proposed a conspiracy theory, so you don't really care about protecting children. You're just wildly uncomfortable. It's fine to disagree, but considering you have a conspiracy theory that we're trying to destroy children by promoting LGBTQ ideology is fucking insane. That's the problem. The problem is here, and I'm going to tell you fundamentally, is that I think that there's reasonable evidence to say that some aspects of some leftist representation of the LGBTQ is going a little bit too far. I'm not going to say that that's not true. And the response to that was this Matt Walsh video. I haven't watched it. From what I've seen of it, some of it's a hit and some of it's a miss, right? This is the response to it, right? So you go too far left and then you start going right again. This is kind of how society fluctuates. And then you could see, though, that their intentions, while they might bring up decent points about like, hey, I don't know if children should be able to transition, because it's a really conversation. That's a really deep conversation to have, especially because like, do they know the implications of their actions? Now you can see, though, what their true feelings are is that there's a conspiracy to destroy children, which is not factually grounded in any capacity. It's a 100% rhetorical. And so even if you're somebody who doesn't affirm trans people, you should understand that this is a dangerous person when it comes to trans issues to follow, because they are radicalized and they're conspiracy theory motivated. And that's a big problem. The views I disagree with, but they're not problematic necessarily. But this chain of absolute conspiracy is a problem. They'll never be able to be moved because they don't actually have any logical or factual foundation for what they're saying. Meanwhile, trans kids, there's a logical and factual foundation. If every single trans person who's truly trans and was not misdiagnosed, which is a problem that we don't talk about enough, if they're saying that when they were kids that they were trans and they wish they started earlier, that's a conversation to have about the phenomenon of trans people existing and how these different things manifest in society. But they're not willing to have the conversation. That was a fucking winded ass fucking... That was winded. Holy shit. There you go. All right, we watched that already. All right. I think that was pretty good. I think that was good for today. Sorry, it's like a little bit of a shorter stream. I want to get off and help my wife with some stuff. It's cleaning the house and whatnot. I wanted to come on quickly. It was a little longer than I normally had expected it to be. Anyway. Fuck, that was a lot. So we're gonna go raid somebody. I think we've been raiding a lot of guys lately. We got to raid a girl today, okay? Just so that we don't conceive. We gotta raid a gay person. It's Pride Month. No, wait, we have to put it at the top. We gotta raid a gay person. If you motherfuckers harass them too, I'm gonna fucking ban you from my chat. I swear on my mother's life. I will fucking roundhouse you. Let's see. Is there like an LGBTQ tag? What the fuck? Oh, there you go. LGBTQIA. Okay. All right, guys. Here we go. Let's see. Let's see who. Let's see who's a gay. We have to look for a person that looks very gay. Is that homophobe? I don't know. It's Pride Month. It's okay if. It's okay to be ignorant. Maybe we can find a drag queen, huh? That'd be good. Hey, let's see if we can find a drag queen. Drag. Oh, nothing is there. Okay, well, that's unfortunate. All right, I'll go back to the gay LG. Okay, yeah, all this stuff. Okay. I love you so much too. Spitting again today, Papa. Thank you so much. I'm sure I'll get shit on in the comments though. This is just a girl's boobs. What the fuck? All right, we got to make sure we find an actual gay person. And not somebody who's faking it for views, guys. Right?
I could put it other places, but none of them seemed appropriate. So I put it in your shoulder strap.
All right, I'm gonna raid this person. I swear, I'm not even kidding. I know we make a lot of jokes. If you harass this person, any capacity, I'll ban the fuck out of you on my stream. Be respectful, like have fun, engage, be kind. I swear to fucking God. If you pieces of shit make me look bad, I will rain down upon you. Okay. You pieces of shit. All right. So take care, guys. I love you. Have a good one. Be respectful and be nice, or I'll fuck you up. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And another special shout out to all my Patreon and Twitch subs. If you'd like to support this channel further than you already have by just watching the video alone, go down to the links below where you can sub on my Patreon, which will allow you to get your name on this beautiful black wall. Or you can go to the Twitch page and you can actually use a free Amazon Prime sub, if you have Amazon Prime, to subscribe. Thank you very much, guys. Take care.